must have rung.
Well,
what time do we go on?
Kind of. But evening, everybody. Thanks for staying through the end of the TBS encore presentation of Big Mama's House. Welcome to What's on Joe Mind, as it is 9:05-ish, whatever. Close enough. But we'll be right back. You can see Mark Gerwig was with us. Chris from Grindhouse Toys is not. He's a last-minute scratch. But whatever. We got Mark, and he talks too much as it is. So we'll be right back with you after you listen to our kick-ass theme song. Stay tuned. Welcome, everyone, to What's on Joe Mind. We are a fan cast about the world of GI Joe. I'm your host, Mike Irizarry. How's everybody doing?
Ooh, last minute scratch. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I'd say, is Colin around? We could use him for that.
Right?
Yeah.
Colin has been an absolute terror. He's mad at everybody today. So if we don't see him, that's a good thing.
That's probably for the
That
best.
makes two of us.
He's in a rotten mood. I don't know what happened.
Well, I mean, he is a cat. That's just kind of a coin flip most
Yeah.
days. So.
It could be.
But here in the top row, he is the former head of marketing for the GI Joe brand at Hasbro. It's the Hot Joe, Mark Weber.
That's right. And boy, we actually got new products to talk about. It's like Christmas part 2, which means yesterday was my birthday. Not bad.
Hey, all right.
Good to be here.
Yeah, yesterday was not actually your birthday, just for
No.
everybody at home. No.
They know.
Look, they should know, but it never stops them.
No.
We're gonna get like 8 comments on this video, and they're all gonna be, "Well, happy birthday, Mark!"
Right.
Oh, and we're like, "Okay, fine, whatever."
Clearly
nobody listens.
if everybody knows when my birthday is, how come everybody forgets it, man?
They're busy, man.
Yeah, it's the story of my life.
They're busy, man. The industrial
whatever.
complex has them all thinking about other things.
Yeah, I'm just used to the disappointment. That's fine. Moving on.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
What Mark, what's your birthday?
December 24th.
When is it actually?
December
Say again?
24th.
Mother's maiden name?
Wait a minute. I know where this is going. And what Pokemon character am I?
Clearly, you're a Charmander.
I would think so, with the fiery tail and all.
Right.
You need to evolve.
I do. I need to be a Flareon by the end of the show, at least.
That's an Eevee. You don't want to.
I know what it is.
You want to be a Charizard. You want to be a big flying fire dragon. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, everybody likes Charmander. I would have to pick something a little more random. Daryl likes Snorlax, which is kind of rando for favorite Pokemon, but okay.
I mean, hey, he's on my list, right?
Okay.
Granted, I only know the names of the ones that came out in that very first version of it. So my favorites list on that is pretty limited.
Yeah.
But,
I know enough how to talk it with kids at after school care. And
There you
then
go.
after like 2 sentences, they realize I'm a hoax. And they start hitting me with stuff I've never heard of.
He likes the one named Tim.
I was
Yes.
an adult with a Game Boy and a boring job, so I got to play a lot of Pokemon Red.
There you go.
That's how I know those. But Jeff Butler has the right idea. Happy unbirthday, Mark.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's why Jeff Butler's our favorite, and everybody needs to try and get, send us stuff to curry favor.
Yeah, the Butler did it.
So sure, we'll go with that. But in the bottom row, he is our comic books expert. He is checking in despite a long day at the horse races today. It's rack time, Rob.
Yeah. I knew I shouldn't have bet on that one that said head for the glue factory. Elmer's Delight.
Don't bet on a horse named Three Good Legs. Or Tripod. Not good.
No.
Hop along.
Gimpy. Bad horse. Don't bet on Gimpy.
That's
Old
not the one.
sway back.
And finally, our special guest, back for a return engagement, which we always find somewhat quizzical but happy about.
Mm.
We don't know why anybody would come back, but we sure are glad when they do. For Mark II Toys, Mark II Design, Mark Gerwig. Big round of applause.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Standing O, kind
Do
of.
you have do you know like who's had the most repeats? Because you could get a Saturday Night Live thing going with have a jacket for the 5-timers.
That was it.
Our most, if you go back over the almost 13 years of the show, our most common repeat hosts are noted author James Cavanaugh, and of course, in more recent times, Biff McConkey Dunk Phil Donnelly. I have to get an official count. I think Phil is probably past James at this point, but I'd have to go back into the seldom opened what's it called, spreadsheet that I've got with all the former guests.
Ooh, I like this.
About 2 years worth of episodes and then get a count on it. No, I don't ever have the time to do that. So, but yeah, I at times about doing a 5-timers t-shirt, but that would require up t-shirts and have a lot of them hanging around. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I want to.
Michael G. Fleming asked,
picture.
if you start from the very beginning, isn't Mike Irizarry the guest with the most returns? No, I was never on as a guest.
This.
Right. I was at the very beginning of the show, I was the sub host. That was an official spot. If one of the normal 4 could not make it in, I was there. I started, my first episode was number 3. And then I was sporadically for the first half a year, and then took over full time around episode 35, 36. So I've never actually been a guest on this show. I've just been, I was just a part-time host.
He's been.
Yeah, I think I've got the all-time appearances list on lockdown at this point.
Yeah,
I think we've got that because if I left the show tomorrow, none of these other people are doing the production work, so it's done. Let's be honest. These people, these guys, Mark Weber is here for his looks, and Racktime Rob don't know how to do nothing. So
I can do, baby.
Torpedo Mike asks, is Phil a guest or the official 5th host by now? We're not getting into the titles too much. I mean, really, a little while back, we made the decision we were going to go with 3 just because we were going to try and keep everything under 2 hours. And that none of that has worked out right. No. We haven't kept it to 3, nor do we keep it under 2 hours. So it's almost like subconsciously, when there's fewer people here, we're daring ourselves to talk even more.
We suck.
Kind of. Figure Sixpack asks, has anyone seen the Sergeant Slaughter documentary on A&E? If it's the same one that they've been showing for about 10 years now, yes.
No, it was a new one. It's season 4, episode 1.
Okay.
And I don't know what the series is actually called, but it's new. It aired for the first time Sunday night.
Okay.
It was really good.
It's that new thing that they're doing with the WWE and A&E.
Yeah. They filmed at JoeFest a little bit last year.
Yeah, okay. Adam Richards got some screen time. Good for him.
Yeah.
Diana Davis asks, is Joe ever coming back? Maybe. I mean, we're certainly going to have Joe around. But Joe's schedule is Joe's business at this point. We're not going to dictate that to her. She's got to figure out how to make everything work with a very hectic job schedule, an increasingly hectic cosplay schedule, as we will see soon in community calendar, and having baby Mango Habanero around.
So, plus, the second she left baby Mango Habanero alone, kids started trying cigarettes. Terrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Turned her head. Terrible. Flavor country, right there.
Just like that.
Flavor country.
So we are trying to figure out Joe Colton's role going forward. Again, it's really mostly up to her. We'll have her back as often as she wants to come back. As Diana notes there, she has motherhood, fame, and national security, and not necessarily in that order. So
does that put Wes 4th? Come on now.
That's all that would fit on the bumper sticker.
Right. Right. I'm not here to decide any of this stuff. None of it. Zero. But I mean, that makes Racktime Rob happy. You see a lot more of Rob because Joe's not around.
Mhm.
So if anybody who's clamoring for Joe Colton, just remember,
Yeah.
that's sending Racktime Rob out to the sticks.
Yeah, and if
out to the poorhouse.
If we gotta have 4, we can always get the Rob from Earth 618. He can sit in as well. Yeah.
Or try and squeeze him into a Bareness costume.
Right. Multiverse Rob.
Yeah, no one ever needs to see that, I don't think.
Not again, anyway.
Yeah.
The Bear Robness.
Oh.
Can't wait.
So, anyways, Diana, again, Rob is fantastic and has fabulous hair. Rob is fantastic and needs to get a haircut.
He does.
Rob's mullet is out of control.
Rock that mullet to the grave, dude. Just enjoy it.
It's not a mullet.
It's a mullet,
It's
Rob.
just unshorn.
It's a mullet. Turn your head to the side. Let the people decide.
There's no party in the back.
No,
There's no party anywhere.
Kind of like a duck.
Yeah, it just happened.
Beautiful. It's gorgeous.
If nothing
Just
else,
enjoy
Rob,
it.
you're lacking the business up front. You have party in the back, but you don't have business up front.
There's no party anywhere. Trust me.
Right, Dennis Fleming, he's got the right idea. High and tight, baby.
There you go.
Square that off.
Mr. Burns wants to cut his hair. Just saying.
Shave those sideburns, Mattingly.
Mr. Burns and Stump Merrill.
Tea party in the back.
Yeah.
I'm told.
Let me sell you some insurance in the front.
I'm being told not to be jealous. I'm not jealous. I kind of need a haircut, but I think I've been twice since Rob has graced the great clips. Hank Perry says that's only a tea party in back.
That's about right.
I mean,
that's all the wild I can muster right now.
We got a lot to cover tonight. What do you say we get into community calendar? Let me find my community calendar buttons. Here we go. Community calendar. Community calendar. I love that little guy. He's adorable.
Cuter when he blinks.
But we have some Staff Sergeant C-Nug news coming up in the next couple of weeks, probably. So bear with us on that one. But first up, of course, this coming weekend is TF Con in Los Angeles. That is at the Marriott Burbank Airport Hotel and Convention Center. So, if you're not doing anything, grab a couple of them funky light wands and just, help get some folks landed. Tickets and information are available at tfconla.com. Remember, if you see Biff McHonky-Donk there, that is 0% off your price of admission by giving him a big hug.
Mm-hmm.
Guests include Michael Bell, Greg Berger, Arthur Burkhart, Peter Cullen, Flint Dilley, Buzz Dixon, Dan Gilveson, Morgan Lofting, Bill Ratner, Neil Ross, Frank Welker, and many, many more, mostly from the world of Transformers. But hey, that means a lot of overlap with GI Joe as far as those Sunbow cartoons, as you can tell from that list there. So lots of folks there. You can get, again, the full list at tfconla.com. Tickets are, it's more than your standard $5, $10 type of show, but they're pretty reasonable. So check that out if you're in the area for a day or 2 days, or fill every day. Mark Weber, if you were going to hit the autograph of one guy off of that list, who would it be?
Oh man, that is a hell of a guest list. I don't have Arthur's autograph on anything. I don't have a lot of voice actor autographs, but only one of them calls me once in a while. So, and I say that with a lot of reverence because it's still awesome. Maybe once a year when Destro pings me up. So I wouldn't mind snagging a bright silver Arthur Burkhart on front of a Destro something or other. That'd be
it's funny. I actually heard from Arthur Burkhart a couple of weeks ago, and he called me up asking if I knew the guys who organized TFCon.
There you go.
And I was like, I don't, Arthur. I have been last show I promoted was CoilCon about 5 years ago. So I am long removed from the show promoting game. But I did say, hey, make sure you get there because you got a lot of fans that want to see you.
Yep.
And I think he took that to heart because there he is on the guest list.
There he is.
Boom. Thank you, TF Con.
Gotta imagine a good guest list looks like a good show, and it's in LA. Like this is right in Arthur's wheelhouse. So I'm glad he's going to be there, leading the Grenadiers.
Right. But also our good pal Bill Ratner out there.
Yeah, I mean,
so be sure to get out and support Bill. We love Bill.
And that's no slight on the other ones. This is a big time for voice actors. Come on.
Oh, right. Look, we've had a lot of those folks on the show.
Man.
Buzz Dixon is top notch. One of my favorite all-time guests. Just a guy who every time we turn the microphones off, Buzz Dixon had a dirty joke for us. Those are my favorite guests, frankly. And not like dirty jokes, but just like, provocative
saucy
type. Yeah, saucy jokes.
So he's putting the dicks in Dixon, basically.
He's putting the buzz. I don't know.
It kind of works.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here struggling to think of who Michael Bell voiced in the Transformers.
Oh God, who didn't he voice in Transformers? He was
Yeah.
Prowl.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, he was all kinds of guys. Michael Bell was not one of any of the major characters, but he was a chorus of the B players.
He was everyone else.
Yeah. Hey, he was like Hank Azaria, I'm doing everybody else.
Yeah, he was 5 of the individual Constructicons. And then the 6th one was Sam Kinison, which is weird.
Yeah, it was a little strange. little odd.
Form Devastator. No!
And then Devastator was Arthur Burkhardt.
And then, yeah.
So there you go. 1 Sam Kinison and 5 Michael Bells equal, I think, by that math.
1 Arthur Burkhardt. There you go.
Right. Oh, goodness. But yeah, so again, if you're in or around LA this weekend, TF Con is right there for you. Be sure to check it out. You can see I got a little robot on there because that was the cheapest one I could sneak in. Because I work hard at appearing lazy.
Well, we only got so much budget per slide.
Right.
Come on now.
This will blow the slide budget if we put a real Transformer.
Exactly.
Right? I got some money for that.
Uh-uh.
Speaking of Joe Colton, there she is at AwesomeCon. That is going to be at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center in Washington, D.C. I think they named the town after Walter E. Washington.
Yeah, that's it.
But all the guests that are not at TFCon, they're going to be at AwesomeCon. Arthur Adams, Hayden Christensen, Rosario Dawson, Tom Kenny, Jeff Loeb, Michael Rosenbaum, Michael Welling, Ming-Na Wen, and the Rissa, among many, many more. Tickets and information available at awesome-con.com. If you're looking to find Joe Colton, she is going to be booth 2371. That is, why is that showing up as a ticker? I need to get that. Hang on. There we go. Booth 2371.
Ooh.
There we go. That's much better.
Yeah,
That's much better.
Rob doesn't like it, but
We don't care what Rob wants. We can still see Rob's plentiful hair. So
yeah, I was going to
that's
say,
plenty.
I think booth 2371 needs a haircut too.
It does.
It kind of looks like it's wearing my dad's toupee, which was not good.
But again, Joe Colton will be there. So I would not recommend approaching Joe Colton for a hug unless she consents, though, because she will put you on the floor.
I'm going to, no offense to the lovely and talented Joe Colton, I'm going to walk right past her to get a hug from Ming-Na Wen. I'm just saying.
I mean,
Keeping it real.
Later for you, Toots. We're hanging
Right.
out with Ming-Na Wen.
Yeah. I will hang out with her if she's wearing the costume on the left, though, because it will make me look tan for the first time.
Andrew Galgan notes that Joe Colton putting the awesome into AwesomeCon, and we agree. We agree. So that's why she's not here this week. She's getting ready for AwesomeCon.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go with that. 2371 is Joe Colton's booth. Be sure to say hi this weekend. Where's my button? Next up. Hey, we got more of those shows from Inside Pitch Promotions. That one in Rolla. That's finally this weekend. So say goodbye to that one after this one. But that is in the Kerr Scott building. That is 2 days, Saturday 9 to 4, Sunday 10 to 4. $5 gets you in for one day, $8 for the whole weekend. Kids 12 and under, for some reason, they are not charging you to take those. I don't know why you would decide to take another kid 12 and under. I would like, I'd help out a kid 12 and over because I know they're going to be gone soon. But I don't need to take another kid 12 and under, regardless of how little it costs me.
Barely potty trained. You don't want those.
Right? No, God, no. It was I was out at Geek Street Indy this weekend, and I happened to be walking in with a bunch of kids who are right at that bubble age. It's amazing how many kids are 11 on the west side of Indianapolis this weekend. Crazy.
They call that section 11 Town.
Right. And then on March 30th, we got a new one on the schedule there in Hickory, North Carolina. That is at the Metro Convention Center. That is from 9 to 4, just the one day. Again, $5 gets you in. Kids 12 and under free. Free parking at all shows. If you need more information, check out InsidePitchPromo.com. Mark Gerwig, where are you at again?
Denver.
Okay, so you're nowhere
Near these kids.
I knew you were out west somewhere. I just wanted to make sure.
Snowed in, probably, right?
No, it's nice. It's been real nice here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's alpine desert here. Like, we don't actually get nearly as much snow as you would think.
No, you just have to drive about an hour up into the mountains to get that snow, and then you don't have to bring any of it home.
Yeah.
Need a quarterback, though.
Yeah, need a quarterback.
Need a quarterback.
Who's the backup there? Was it Jeff Driscoll? Who was playing for them the last? Or
I think it was Jeff Spicoli.
No, it was
California.
Oh shoot, I can't think of his name.
They were talking about it just today too.
Yeah,
Gary Kubiak, I believe.
We'll go with that.
Sure, why not? Why not?
I believe it was Brock Osweiler.
No, he's long gone. Jeff Butler pulling up Ken Jeong in The Hangover. Raleigh, city of squalor. Good times. So again, if you're anywhere in or around North Carolina, especially, check out InsidePitchPromo.com. And of course, on Sunday, on the 10th, Toy Man happening in St. Louis. Somebody's echoing pretty bad. But that was there. $5 admission. $15 gets you in for early bird. Parking is free. And of course, if you see Dave Draper, give him a hug. That gets you a 0% discount on admission. That is out on the west side by the airport in St. Louis, Missouri. Artists, cosplay, crafts, guests, and more. And about 70 years worth of toys in 2 stories at the Machinist Hall. I cannot sell Toy Man hard enough. If you're anywhere within 2 hours of St. Louis, get yourself a Toy Man. It's worth the trip.
When you lived in or right around St. Louis, Mike, how many Toy Man shows did you hit a year?
Well, they were doing 7 a year. I probably went to 5.
Outstanding.
There would usually be a couple of weeks that didn't jive.
Did you have a punch card?
No, I would have been a good candidate for that. I've been a seller at Toy Man before. I've been hawking off extras and things at Toy Man before. So
you're saying it might be a good place to lose a Slaughter's Marauders barbecue, perhaps?
If one had one to lose, I imagine that would sit on a table at Toy Man untouched, much like it sat on Mark's computer table untouched.
It's in the wind
I'm
now.
going to go ahead and interject right here. You're going to want to hold on to those.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See,
hold on to at least one of those. I do know things.
He knows things. He builds things.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
He's 3D printing up an equalizer.
Zaymot CGC asks, is this a show where Target parks on you for free? No, but you can park at the Target for free. If you do not have a spot at the equally abundant Machinist Hall. Parking is always in abundance at Toyman.
As long as I can get a classified scale backpack with the axe that comes over the front, I'm good.
Oh, man.
Oh, the Dreadnought Battle Axe.
Yeah. Bad at any scale.
So bad, it's awesome.
Oh, I love the commercial for it, though. You got to see Sunbow animation of Road Pig with that thing running into battle with this axe.
Glorious.
The greatest 2 seconds of animation that Sunbow ever did. Oh,
Road Pig is one of the few guys who would look at that and go, yeah, I like it. Put that on.
Let's give it a shot. It's one of the few guys that could actually run with a pack that size on their back.
True. Wasn't there a rope walker that was awful too?
The rope walker was okay.
I actually had that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was clunky and big, but at least there's a point to it, right?
Yeah, there's a bad point to it if I get to it with my axe backpack.
Well, I mean,
you
could probably get to the rope on one of the ends.
Right? That's it.
You know, if you can't outrun whoever it is that's got that monstrosity on their back, then you deserve to be chopped down.
Maybe that axe backpack was just made for really lazy Atlanta Braves fans. You think?
It's possible. It would certainly be something I would sit with.
Just need a sound chip, and you're good to go.
But, getting out of the March 10th weekend, we got Columbus Toy Show. That is next weekend. That's always a big deal. That is Sunday, March 17th from 8 to 4 at the Ohio Expo Center Large Building in Columbus, Ohio. $15 gets you in the door. Early bird gets you in for $20. That is at 8 o'clock. Looks like they are going for a Power Ranger theme this time around. They do 2 shows a year. Hopefully the next one is a better theme. That's all I'm saying.
Is that the best picture of David J. Fielding that they had?
I mean, you see real David J. Fielding next to the weird reflective blue guy. So, I mean, they
Zordon, I think.
Sure.
I don't know.
Supposedly, he came in one day. He did 15 minutes of on camera work, and they just used that 15 minutes for like the entire run of the show.
Glorious.
I believe it.
It looks like a Marvel What If episode. What if the Kingpin got stuck in a lava lamp? One of the lower rated episodes of season 1.
Right.
That issue did not sell well at all.
But no.
I would say it belonged in season 2, but I can't think of anybody who's actually sat through the second season of What If. So, anyways.
I didn't finish sitting through the first season.
I
like the first season.
I thought there were 2 pretty good episodes in the first season of What If, and the rest of it was pretty forgettable.
I'll watch the Demon Doctor Strange one. Was fantastic. But
see, I don't know.
It was better than Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, MCU Doctor Strange has left me pretty cold in general, so it's tough to.
I like Doctor Strange with other people. Kind of the way I read him in Marvel. It's like, oh, Doctor Strange is in this. Okay. I'm not buying a Doctor Strange by himself. Yeah.
He's the Jan Michael Vincent of Marvel Universe characters. Ooh. He is America's favorite supporting actor.
I once served Ernest Borgnine a club sandwich at Sherry's restaurant in Bend, Oregon. Just saying.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was a big moment for me. I was like 14.
Did he was he aggressively kind?
No, but he was wearing the Airwolf flight suit, but it was kind of ratty. So I think it's just what he had handy.
He's in Bend, Oregon, eating a club sandwich. How nice does he need to be dressed?
I guess that's true.
But I apologize if I wind up blinking and squinting a lot today. We've had some drastic temperature changes here, and my head is just like my sinuses are going insane. So the eyes are very dry despite my best efforts. So I apologize now if I'm just sitting here going over the course of today.
You can put in eye drops live if you want, or just do the goosh if you need
I
to.
did do that right before we went live, so the eye drop's still here. But I'd rather not do that on camera. But so yes, it's and so Mark, if we were gonna do 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, can we count your serving Ernest Borgnine a club sandwich as your?
I think so.
Get your in on that.
Look, I'll toot the horn like crazy. I served a sandwich to Ernest Borgnine. I rented a VCR to Rob Morrow of Northern Exposure fame. I rented a movie to Jennifer Love Hewitt. This is all in Bend too, let me tell you.
All right.
Pretty much LA North. And I danced on Broadway during a live show with Hugh Jackman. True story.
Okay.
What movie did Jennifer Love Hewitt rent?
She was, I don't remember what she rented, but she was filming a short-lived CBS thing called McKenna nearby.
Okay.
So
I think she probably rented Porky's too.
No, I think it was Back to the Future, actually.
I think that was a Chad Everett project. McKenna.
Could be. Didn't last long.
No.
Don't blink.
No. Most Chad Everett projects tended not to last very long.
Oh, and I sat on a bench in Canton, Ohio with Gail Sayers. Pretty slick.
All right.
Pretty slick.
All right.
When he walked away, he still had a slight limp. And I was what, 30 at the time? He was probably 65. Still faster than me.
Well, yeah.
Gail Sayers.
That's why you were on junior varsity soccer in Bend.
Oh, two-time captain. Two-time captain, Mike. That's hard to do. Most captains straight to the varsity.
He didn't want to leave truth behind.
Yeah,
Jeff Butler, I know what you rented last summer in Bend.
Hey, it's the last blockbuster, baby, right? Oh, and by the way, if former Bend High soccer coach Rocky Dillenberg is watching tonight, eat it.
Okay.
Man,
next news.
Just taking out your personal grievances on the show, huh?
Well, I mean, why not?
I have a feeling he's not tuned in.
Well,
just odds are.
Word will get back.
You want to know a secret? Want to know a secret, Mike? He wasn't back then either.
Then, of course, courtesy of Mr. Pittsburgh, Steel City Con is coming up on April 12th to the 14th. Get this one up early because it is one of the bigger shows in that area. It will cost you some coin if you're looking to get in there. But guests include Christian Cage, currently the best thing happening in AEW wrestling right now. John Carpenter, Gina Davis, Heather Graham, Ernie Hudson, John Reese Davies, Susan Sarandon, 5-time champion Booker T. And if you're a fan of Beverly Hills 90210 or The Breakfast Club, this show is one you want to get to because I think they're all there.
Well, I mean, nothing says 90210 like John Carpenter.
Right. Tickets and information available at steelcitycon.com. Mark Gerwig, you a wrestling fan at all?
Not big. Not a big fan. It wasn't in my house when I was a kid. And then like in the early through the mid 90s, I got into it. And then I spent a long time just out of the country and fell out of it.
You got out at the right time, man.
That's what I've heard.
Yep.
Matt Rubin said
I didn't realize John Carpenter was doing shows. Sorry.
Matt Rubin says that Judd Nelson voiced Hot Rod in the movie. Slight tangent to GI Joe. No, not really. But he's there. He's part of that Breakfast Club gang. So but I think everybody else on that list is a bigger draw than than Judd Nelson, so that I can only put so many on my list. I do need to get the comedy stylings of Matt Rubin and Biff on there, or I'm sorry, Matt Rubin and shoot, I can't think of the other guy's name. He's here every week, and I feel terrible. He's not here this week, of course.
Roethlisberger.
Bart, Matt Rubin and Bart.
Yeah,
that's who. Those are my two Pittsburgh guys.
The weird thing is Susan Sarandon and Booker T are sharing a table.
Yeah,
they tagged together briefly in the early part of the 90s.
I mean, Stevie Ray was never very good. Let's be honest.
No, I mean he went out with a bad knee once, and for about 6 months, Booker T and Susan Sarandon were NWA tag champs.
Sister Susan, he called. No, wait, that was somebody else.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Ernie Hudson's got the Ghostbuster movie coming out.
That's right.
So
his rate's going to go through the roof.
Ernie Hudson's awesome. He's been in everything Ernie Hudson is in is at least 10% better for it. Absorbent says he's not going to lie. He was a fan of those 90210 college years.
Okay. Ernie Hudson has that great line in The Crow where there's the blood all over the wall. And the detective goes, "What do you call that?" And he goes, "I don't know. You can call it whatever you want. Call it graffiti." Solid line.
Yeah.
Cheapest big spender says, "Take all the free kids there. Christian will be their father."
That's right.
Again, best thing going for All Elite Wrestling, Christian Cage. I will hear no arguments.
Low bar, just saying.
He is awesome. Worth the price of admission on his own. Fantastic. And that's it for community calendar. Remember, if you've got something you want added to the old community calendar, make sure you get a hold of us. I can't find my banners. Wait. There it is. What's on JoeMind@gmail.com. Really, that's a good email address for us for anything, whether you got a customs or customs you want to show off, or questions for the post sock. Anytime you want to get a hold of us and it's related to the show, what's on JoeMind@gmail.com is a good way to get it on the big program so that the whole world can see what you're pitching. The whole world, as it were.
Pretty much.
We're big in Switzerland, I think.
Us and HR Giger.
They like everybody though, right? They're non-committal.
I don't know if they like everybody, but they certainly they don't talk bad about anybody.
Yeah, they're kind of neutral on the whole thing.
Right. But that's it for community calendar.
Community calendar. Community calendar. Community calendar. Community calendar.
I'm on a bus on a psychedelic trip.
Community calendar. Community calendar.
Billy Idol's been all over my social media lately.
He's stealing your golf cart. That's why.
Because we got our little Staff Sergeant C-Nugs running by his show there. But so now Absorbvids has done. He did have another one ready for us. Unfortunately, it was something that I really can't show without us getting shut down. So, but he's been hard at work doing more of those, or I should say, Deke has been hard at work plagiarizing his work. To do more work for community calendar intros, but. There he is, right? It's a whole new season of Staff Sergeant C-Nugs done, everyone. Sorry in advance, Mark.
Hey, man, I can take it.
Right.
Won't be the worst thing ever happened to me. Our friend Rachel over in the comments going to have to be a little more specific.
Right. We have several marks.
Yeah.
Half the show is marks. And then I'm a Mike, which is halfway to Mark.
My brother's
so
I could both marks are going to be at JoeFest, I think.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go to
marks for the price of one.
Bobby will be in Dallas. Go say hi to Bobby.
Yeah. Right. I think like the whole point of Mark Gerwig being here is because he's helping out with the JoeFest. custom class stuff. And Chris would have been here with us, but he had something calling him away last second. Regardless, we still got a lot to go before we start talking about that stuff.
A last minute scratch, yes.
There's Mark with his late scratch again.
There we go.
Rob's going for Junkyard, the insult comic dog. So we'll cut him off at the tab. How do you like that business?
I got him in. Oh, yes. Here we go. It's very nice. It's a scratch. Oh, yeah.
Scratch the dog's head, yes.
Mark Gerwig, you see what I deal with here?
Hey,
Anarchy.
we're on our good behavior.
Bedlam.
Come on.
See what I'm dealing with?
Mm-hmm.
This is why nothing gets done.
You work with children.
You've made Torpedo Mike itchy.
He was telling me in the comments before, oh, it's almost spring break. I have the better part of 4 weeks until spring break.
That's rough, dude.
How long is spring break?
Not long enough.
Correct.
Cheapest big spender wants to see a C-Nug episode invading Bend, Oregon to get club sandwiches for Ernest Borgnine.
Better spell Bend. You better spell Bend right next time.
Rest in peace.
Be honest
Look,
with you.
man. Sometimes autocorrect is tough.
Just saying.
Got a lot of people in the live chat. He's got to get it out quick.
Yeah.
Give them a break.
Dear autocorrect, I never typed the word ducking. Just so you know. Just so you know.
First news item.
Do.
There we go. Another callback from last week. I moonlighted as on the Who Would Win podcast with James Gavsey and Ray Stacanis as a guest judge for their bout between Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel. Be sure to listen, leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. Anytime you want to hear two geeks argue as if their very lives depended on it, and then I jump in making a bad joke about the Care Bear cousins, this is the episode for you. But no, great fun. They do good work, and frankly, if they weren't trying to sell it the way that they sell it, the show wouldn't work nearly so well. So check that one out. I will keep it spoiler free this week as far as who I, as your infallible judge, the man who cannot be incorrect, decided the bout. You can probably figure it out on your own though.
I'm with
Black
Torpedo.
Canary.
I'm with Torpedo 83. Just saying.
For the record, it was comic book versions of Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel. So TV and movie renditions were not considered.
No, that's a better fight because nobody beats Linda Carter, Wonder Woman.
No, that's absolutely the case. Yeah. No,
because Sun Devil. Yeah.
that has nothing to do with it, but sure. We'll let you have that, Mark. Sure.
Yeah.
Why not? It absolutely nothing to do with it, but
Sun Devil.
Love a Bear.
Love a Bear. From Bend, Oregon. Wait. The Bend High Lava Bears.
Next news item.
Do Ben.
Trying to get in on it.
I like it.
That's fine.
The duet.
You're the guest, man. You do what you want.
Duet.
Okay.
We'll hit the next one. I'll go soprano. You go low, I'll go high.
Okay.
But remember that the history of GI Joe number 21 is winding up on Kickstarter.
Oh,
There you go. That's mandatory at this point.
it's so short.
It's gonna be like
It's too short. It's way
4
too short.
seconds. I can't play any more than that. Otherwise, they will tag us.
Oh,
Play it 3 times in a row. It's 3 separate things.
It is at that point, but I don't want to do that.
Okay.
But
Do not anger the almighty algorithm.
right, I can't play these kind of games, man.
It's like taunting Happy Fun Ball.
But remember, it's only a couple more days. It is funded, so go ahead and pledge.
With impunity.
Thank you. As I lost the words completely. Pledge with courage This one is done. It's signed, sealed, delivered. They do have other pledge options available. If you missed some of their other books, you can perhaps pick up some of those. They've got all kinds of options. Head over to Kickstarter, type in After Action Report, and this will pop right up for you. Remember, that is only until March 8th at about 10 in the morning. So if you haven't gotten that done already,
as I'm looking.
if you haven't gotten that done already, you run out of time. You've put it off too long. Who else has put it off for too long?
That guy.
My bad. Sorry, guys.
Lord
knows they've gotten that $35 out of me in PR. So
you know who else has put it off for too long? Rob's barber. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him. It's gorgeous.
Oh. Sorry, I was rocking.
We're all rocking.
I mean, if it doesn't make you want to do that, there's something wrong with you.
I forget who it was that made that recommendation. It was somebody in our live chat that said we had to do it. And I agreed. I mean, how do you not?
It's real good. I can't wait. I hope, Mike, I hope you get a little sicker so I can run the show one time, because we're just doing that all show on a loop.
Well, I mean, at least stick with make sure you work in the reckless hot take one once in a while. That one's not quite as long, but it's funnier.
I don't even remember it. Play it.
Oh, we'll get when somebody has a reckless hot take, I'll play it. In the meantime, next news item.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not good either.
We'll practice. We'll keep doing it.
That's almost like experimental East German film from the 70s. Kind of.
I'll be honest with you. We're not going to do that anymore. But we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it any less either.
Excuse me. March 1st saw the Renegade Con virtual 10th anniversary event that was online on their YouTube channel. Lots of cool stuff that they unveiled. After a couple of weeks worth of non-tabletop role-playing game items being shown off, Renegade Con mostly showed off stuff for the GI Joe tabletop role-playing game.
Woohoo!
Starting with this guy here. That is the beginner. All right, that was a mistake. Sorry.
No, it wasn't. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Don't randomly click the right side of the screen, folks. That's what the lessons learned here. Anyhow, the beginner box boot camp, that pre-order is up. That'll run you $35. That's expected to be delivered in May of 2024. If you don't have any experience with their Essence 20 gaming system, this is might be a good pickup for you to get you involved in the game. They've got a GM screen. They got dice. They got a 32-page play guide. They have 8 pre-generated Joe characters, including Agent Helix, Dusty, Steeler, and more. There is a 26-page first adventure module for those pre-generated characters, and then a 26-page second adventure module. So anything all you need to get going in the GI Joe tabletop role-playing game is right here for you in the beginner box. And the price is right too, right? At $35, that is not a bad starting point for any of this stuff. Role-playing games are great, but it can be a little cost limiting for modules and rule books and things like that. But hey, the beginner box, only 35 bones. That is not bad at all.
Comes with a free left-handed Scarlet too.
Sure.
Just saying.
I mean, not that that horse isn't dead that you're beating, but sure.
Do it right. I'll leave you alone.
It's another one of those horses I bet on.
Just saying.
You don't think she's ambidextrous?
I think because the sight for her crossbow only works for a right-handed grip on the original Scarlet, you should always do her right-handed.
That is a good point.
Yeah. I mean,
not that she doesn't throw stars and karate chop and do a lot of dangerous stuff with that left hand, but
Cheapest big spender taking credit, and that seems right. That seems on brand.
Yep.
I think that was him. So
With his assistant Fuji advisor.
well done, cheapest big spender. Well done.
Assistant Fuji. And his brother, Albert Brooks.
Fuji once told Super Dave Osborne that if he recited the word audibly, balloon ball, he would feel no human pain. It wasn't true.
It's not.
It was not. It did not
Never
work.
is.
Did not work.
Also taking place at Renegade Con Virtual. A couple of new source books for the role-playing game. First one, of course, Faction in Action. You can see there they don't have, there's no cover art approved for that yet. It hasn't been determined. That gives you a closer look at the Dreadnoks, the October Guard, and the Arashikage Ninja Clan, and how they work, and new bonus levels and things like that, and how it all works in the game itself. Also got the Quartermaster book, which gives you vehicles, bases, and artillery. Certainly a huge part of any GI Joe role-playing campaign. So it's all right there. $45 a piece on each of those books. Again, they are taking orders now with expected delivery in May of 2024.
Is that Mirage on the cover?
I think so.
Remember when he was in like every wave for 3 years? Could not get away from him. And then they banned him for 20 years, and now he's back in a big way.
Something like that. That was that Joe versus Cobra run, we saw a lot of Mirage.
A lot of Mirage. Came with that big dinky hovercraft that didn't work.
Yeah, figure 6-pack says Mega Marines Mirage. It's the only Mirage there was. Even later on, it was the same exact mold. Just again and again and again and again and again. We got a whole rainbow's worth of Mirage figures out there for you. Mark Gerwig, what do you think of Mirage?
I just pulled them up on 3djoes.com because I couldn't remember more than one. But
because
like,
that's the correct answer. You don't think of Mirage. Nobody does. That's not a statement of his quality as a figure. It's just he just never caught on.
Well, yeah, that was a late. Was that 93?
Yeah.
93. Yeah.
And also 01 through 06 or something like that. Like, holy shit. They never gave up on Mirage repaints.
That's awesome, though.
We still have this mold.
Right?
Yeah, but like, it's not damn Snake Eyes on the cover,
Right. That is true. We are not getting beaten over the head with the standard Snake Eyes, Scarlet, Duke, Roadblock bunch. Yeah. I mean, they were on the main book, so that's fine.
It allowed them to keep the Mirage name as a trademark for the better Transformer.
That's true.
There you
go. They belong on the main book, but you can put other guys on the other books. When they first were showing off Factions in Action, some of the advanced artwork was Tiger Force. Oof. And that has nothing to do with that book, but
it's pretty. Like, I'm looking at, there's a Ram, there's a Tomahawk, Armadillo, Havocs. There's a Dragonfly in the top right. It's one of those mech suits.
The Dreadnought Battle Axe.
Yes.
No, it's not on the cover.
Oh,
should be.
That's on the Factions in Action book.
No.
That's where the Dreadnought get covered.
And if Mirage is in the pit, there's no way they have the Dreadnought Battle Axe because you would never capture that. How would you even get close enough to? Come on.
They traded it for some grape soda and chocolate donuts.
Right. Unless you shot a rope over it and went there with the rope crawler backpack and just lifted it off.
Reached down and grabbed it off.
Yeah. They flew in on the helicopter backpack and snuck out.
Now we're talking.
Rachel Salinas is gearing us up for Classifier on Mirage.
Well, yeah. not too far off, man. They're digging pretty deep.
Not deep enough.
Yeah.
We need to see some other dudes before we see Mirage.
We're getting Mirage now.
Guy with no heat. No heat. No heat. Next up. Next news item.
Do, do, do,
Do, do, do, do, do, do, do,
do,
do.
do.
And of course, the big news last week was the Hasbro Pulse Leap Day live stream.
More money.
Right. It was time to shell out for some more classified. Pre-orders were up for 4 standard figures, a deluxe, a Target exclusive 2-pack, and a vehicle. We had 3 name drop reveals and 4 digital renders. What do you say we get this started?
Roll it.
And this is the first time, by the way, that I got one of those group tiles in and did not use it as the thumbnail with Mark's head superimposed on one of them. I feel like I missed something there, but you know, we had Mark coming on. We had other stuff that I needed to put in the thumbnail. So
Could have used it to cover up that god awful Night Creeper alternate head.
I was hoping I'd be Jinx, but whatever.
That's
I
a bit
think
rough.
that's good.
You can't cover that one up.
I probably would have gone Night Creeper just because he's in the middle.
Mm.
Looks like I got a good amount of space to work with there. Because I mean, Mark, your head's kind of
not
big.
for my head, but whatever.
You know, your head's kind of big, so I need as much as I can get.
Yeah, when people say I don't want you to get a big head, I'm like, too late.
There have been times where your head graphic is too big for the little stripe, so I've had to erase the sides.
Yeah.
And give you like some weird trapezoidal head.
Yeah, I can't be contained. It's all right.
Mark Webber, the trapezoid head.
It's right there.
Anyways,
Right there. Coming at you.
you can get your own off-target What's on Joe Mine sticker at What's on Joe Mine what's it called? tpublic.whatsonjoemine.com.
Mhm. Look,
Whatever.
Mom,
Link is down below. Go check it out there.
look, Mom, I
There
made it. I made it. Look at that.
There
Look,
we
Mom,
go.
I made it big.
Mark,
I got merch.
I got one of the shirts on because I needed to remind everybody what show they were watching.
Mhm.
What we need to do is start showing up on other people's shows wearing our shirts, and that, I haven't managed to pull that one off yet. Nobody wants me on their show.
You were just
I
a
had a
judge.
heated internal monologue about whether or not I wear the shirt of the show I'm going to be on.
That's you get to be
And,
that guy. That's fine.
the shirt won. That's right.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, look at our subscriber numbers. Nobody's watching you anyway, so you might as well.
Yeah.
Zaymot
Surprised my
CGC
mom
asks,
hasn't showed up in chat.
can you get the pen from the website? No, you have to find us at a show to get the pen.
Yeah. That's our con exclusive.
Right. Or visit the folks at Roma Collectibles in Springfield, Ohio, or Kokomo Toys. They've got some clicky pens.
Did we send any to England?
Not yet,
Okay.
because that's a lot of postage for clicky pens.
Yeah.
That's true.
But Mark, cheapest big spender wants to know how many of those stickers do you have to buy to get a free barbecue?
Just keep buying. I'll let you know when it triggers.
That's all right. You can get them in small size or large size.
You're getting closer.
We sent Mark the large one. We got him the sticker, and we got him the coffee mug for his new job office warming gifts.
Spared no expense.
Not at all. No,
I dig it.
I did not even I didn't even wait for that crazy 35% off sale.
Yeah.
I was like, nope, we got to get Mark his
So-
giant mug.
It was so impulsive because, like you say, you're never more than a week away from a TeePublic sale.
Right. And then the next day, the TeePublic sale started.
Oh,
So I felt kind of dumb, but hey, Mark got his mug, and that was what was most important.
the best part is, they almost work together, right? Metal cup, magnet,
Well, I figured if nothing else, did I get you the magnet or did I get you the sticker?
magnet.
Okay. So I figured
That's
if nothing
awesome.
else, like the magnet could go on your filing cabinet or something in your cool corner office with the lakeside view
Right?
there at Voliver's.
I got a new plant. I got a katana in there now. I got a Cyclops poster. I got a Sucker Punch poster. It's coming together.
Nice.
I mean, Cyclops poster.
Yeah, it's the really good Astonishing X-Men cover in the blue hue where Emma's got her hands over his eyes. You can just see her looking over him. It's a great John Cassaday cover, even though it has Cyclops. But
Despite the Cyclops, great cover.
yeah, and that the White Queen's pretty much obscured. Come to think of it, kind of sucks. I'm gonna get a different poster.
You talked yourself out of it.
I mean, who wants a White Queen poster where you can't see her? I mean, come on now.
But anyways, name only reveals.
They look terrible.
Got Dial Tone and the Saw Viper, and then towards the end of the show, they dropped the Frag Viper on us. But I, of course, as I hadn't put together one of these cheap 5-minute graphics in a while, I found the truly iconic versions of those characters to put in it. And, you know, funny part of it, it probably stirred up more. Like, people thought that I was serious. Like, I posted this, and some of our social media replies are like, they're not going to do those. Thanks for playing along, dude. There you go. Clearly, you listen to the show. We take everything so seriously here.
Yeah.
Given that Mark made a classified scale shark, right? I think he's the only man possibly in existence capable of making a classified scale Saw Viper weapon. Because that original gun was 5 pounds by itself, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Look at that thumb breaking handle. I remember.
I mean, little did they know they had already made the classified gun for the Saw Viper.
Look,
Right.
I'm no idiot, man. Even as a kid, when I saw the Saw Viper's weapon, I'm like, there's not a chance I'm trying to put that in his hand.
Yeah.
Are you
You're
kidding
digging
me?
you're digging through the shoebox and getting Rock and Roll's old gun.
Yeah, I would have him in Arctic operations. He used it as a snowboard. Like, come on.
Michael Gene Fleming notes that some of us actually want 90s Sonic Fighter dial tone. And I'm going to give 90s Sonic Fighter dial tone this. It's not a bad repaint. Like, we're not making fun of the figure on that one. His gigantic backpack is absolutely comedy gold.
With the little teeny radar dish.
Right, but the figure itself is fine. Like, nobody's really messed up with that one. But oh man, you know, you deviate from the originals on some of these, and folks get their underwear all in a bunch. All in a bunch.
You take that dial tone, take the backpack off, give him Thunder's legs, and I don't know, Sergeant Slaughter's waist, and he's full of wind right there. Big white belt. It's a good look.
You try to give everybody that waist piece, though, Mark. You try to drop that one on everybody.
It's the white belt that sends it off. Because
Right.
nothing says hand-to-hand fighting badass more than a white belt.
Yeah.
Right, white athletic belt.
Yeah.
Like your coach wore to baseball practice in the late 80s.
Yep. But not soccer practice, because my coach couldn't figure out how to work a belt.
Oh. But Greg Augustin asked an important question. Is that Jack or Jill dial tone? You know, good question. I would take either one. I don't care.
Come on. No.
I don't care. Look,
No.
man, it's dial tone. I think if you gave me, I think you'd have to give me Jack dial tone. But if you gave me Jill dial tone in addition to that, I'm not upset.
If you did both.
Right? Like, I was there at the beginning, so dial tone will always be the guy with the mustache who ate beans in that one episode of the cartoon. Out of the can, ate the beans.
Nope.
But
Dial
For
tone.
me, it was he's the first time I ever heard DNA said out loud.
Ooh.
right.
We're like, DNA,
Right.
what's that? And dial tone's just like, it's not actually ribonucleic acid. What?
Dial tone for me will always be the first Joe from Oregon. And that meant something to me as a
What's funny is that
13-year-old.
in that cartoon, in Arise Serpentor Arise, the Joe that explains what DNA is Mutt.
Yeah.
Was
Science
it Mutt,
major.
or was it Mutt explaining it to dial tone?
It was Mutt explaining it to Gung Ho.
To Gung Ho. Dial Tone talks about it a little later on, so you're not wrong.
Oh, okay.
But like the first time
I'm
it
like,
comes up,
that would have been just the most embarrassing moment for me.
Right. No, it is Mutt talking to it about Mutt saying to Gung Ho, because Gung Ho heard DN what? And so, Mutt's there. Science guy Mutt is there to set him straight.
That was great.
Ed Schumacher's in the chat saying any Dial Tone will always be his favorite. Hi, guys. You look, man, we'll take. He's one of the guys on the short list of as far as dudes who are way overdue, right?
Oh yeah.
Like Dial Tone, Footloose. We've complained about Flash for how many months now? These are guys that I need. These are guys that I need in my classified line. Mainframe is there. Zap, I would take. Short Fuse, I don't care so much.
We're lucky to have Mark on tonight because he's the only guy who can create a waist piece big enough for classified Footloose.
I'm kicking you out now. You're done. Oh! You're done. Done. I'm going to keep you in the bottom state. Now I'm going to put up some banners.
Huge crotch.
I'm going to put up some banners so that we can't see you at all.
Man, I'm moving up.
That's right. I'm going to put up the Roma Collectibles overlay just so we can't see as much of Mark. Remember, Roma Collectibles, I did not mention this before. They are the sponsors of Community Calendar. They are the official traveling vintage toy retailer of What's on Joe Mind. Be sure to visit the toy store in Springfield, Ohio. I got to get that banner off of there now because now I'm plugging the damn store and see what. But they are closed Monday and Tuesday. They're there Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 7, Sunday, 12 to 5. Always buying collections, big and small, but not if they smell like smoke. Clean up your stuff before you try and sell it to Roma Collectibles. Give them a break.
It's heavy.
It is.
Don't blow out an O-ring, dude.
Right? Did I miss anything?
You gonna behave now?
As long as I didn't miss Kickstart My Heart, I'm good.
It didn't work.
No, I couldn't even.
It was a good try, though, man. I appreciate it.
Hey,
I'm not. I just kicked him out. I'm not going to do what he wants now.
It's Beachhead number 175.
Digital renders. We got to see retro Beachhead. We got to see the retro Cobra Eel, and then of course the retro Snow Serpent and the Cobra Ferret with its Scout driver. Racktime Rob, which one of these four are you looking forward to the most?
Well, I kind of like the Ferret with the Scout driver. It's new.
Mark Gerwig, what do you think?
I agree with Rob on that one. I really like they pulled the helmet like from the original concept art.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
I'm curious. I think scale wise, it's going to be a little smaller than the original, but yeah, I'm excited to see it.
The Ferret was weird back in the original line in that it was a little too big for scale, wasn't it?
It was massive.
Yeah, like bigger tires than the Vamp on that sucker. It was a beast. So I kind of like that they got it a little bit more under control with what an ATV would be in scale with classified. Mark Weber, out of the four,
I mean,
which do you think?
This isn't the biggest trick question in the history of What's on Joe Mind. Hey, Joe fans, who's the best figure in this line that includes Beachhead? I mean, come on. I'm going to leave it for you to knock it out of the park. But for me, because I only got an eel because of the grace of the Irizarry brothers.
That's what we do here.
I'm dying to get more eels. They're fantastic. I haven't looked at it close enough to figure out what's different that makes this one retro.
Like the blue on the harpoon gun.
Well, they really went all out.
Right.
I was really surprised with this one that they didn't get a retro pack and gun for it. I was really expecting that.
Well, even worse for the Snow Serpent, right? We're going to do a retro Snow Serpent. Oh, cool. With the gray AK-47? No.
And the mortar?
No, same old gun that we did the first time. Cool.
No, that's a different gun.
Is it?
It's It's still not the right one, but it's a different one.
Right.
So they
And
changed it up, but didn't use the right gun.
correct. That's really my beef with.
Yeah, it looks like Dusty's.
No, it's not that. But anyways, my beef with the retro selections here are that, like, I know a lot of times I come on and I complain that a lot of these classified figures are not different enough from the versions that came out in the 80s and 90s, and there should be some updates and some changes. But on the retro line, like, if you're going to sell it as retro, if you're going to sell it as what came out before in redo, you kind of have to at that point, right?
Yeah.
Absorbent says that Snow Serpent needs the snowshoes. He's got the snowshoes. They're on there.
They're just not the tennis racket looking ones. That's
Yeah.
Right. They're not the old, and I'm okay with that. Like, you don't need to necessarily redesign a whole new snowshoe thing, but you should at least get the gun kind of close.
Yeah, because they've got an AK.
The loadout's disappointing there. The eel doesn't appear to be significantly different at all. And I know there were a lot of folks that didn't like that new backpack. I don't have a problem with the new backpack, but if you're going to do a retro eel, wouldn't that be what you changed?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then on Beachhead, like, that's not the ammo pack. They gave him the Snake Eyes satchel because it's a redo, and they still have all of his guns green.
Yeah.
He's making them with his power.
But they gave him the wasp that came with Firefly for some reason.
Right. They got the figure right. So I'm certainly okay with that. But these retro offerings they don't seem retro so much as they seem discount.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that. I know Hasbro's got some money issues and they're cutting back on budgets and et cetera, you know, not making as many figures and not carrying as much inventory and all these things. And this first wave of retro offerings since they made those layoff announcements really shows that they've laid off, you know, 25% of their workforce. So I'm disappointed in those three. Even the Beachhead. Like, again, I'm glad that the figure happened, but I'm still gonna have to go to, you know, a Marauder or say a Mark II design to put out the right weapon, or at least not an obnoxiously colored weapon.
Yeah.
For this guy to carry around.
Especially for a guy who was always one of the most realistic military looking characters. If ever a guy shouldn't have a Nerf colored gun,
right?
Somebody like Beachhead.
Right.
And yet Rob's point's dead on the Snow Serpent. They have the AK-47 already from the Cobra Soldier, right?
Right.
And the Dragunov from the Cobra Officer.
Right.
So,
Sergeant Slaughter.
Right. It's all there. They just decided not to do it. And that's just,
Here's some of the crazy thinking that makes me ex-Hasbro employee Mark Weber. I got an idea. Hurting for money, make better toys that sell more. That's my wild concept.
They've got 2 army builders in this. Like, that eel, like, they're going to move a ton of those eels. And probably the Snow Serpent as well.
They are,
probably.
Mark. They are, Mark, but only if the production
Healthy.
line is a third of each, right? Like, they shouldn't make nearly as many Beachheads as retro eels. And that
are you calling it that Beachhead's going to be a peg warmer?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that nobody's buying 8 Beachheads except this lunatic up here on the top, right? You don't need to sell that many Beachheads. And he's an A-level hero character. But there's the maniacs who they're pitching this line to, the diehard collectors that are the only people in their target here. Everybody there wants 3 eels or more. There are guys who want 10, who want 20. So you better, if you're going to put troop builders in, you better account for it in your overall production. We'll see.
Michael Kleppinger notes that, hey, Mark, good thing your weapon set includes a Wasp and an AK.
Somebody knows his weapons. Just saying.
But again, I really like the figure on the Beachhead. I'm certainly picking one up. I'll probably pick up a second one just to keep on the card to hang on the wall and look cool. But like it's an easy pass on the eel and an easy pass on the snow serpent. And that ferret, I mean, I know I'm the beachhead guy, but that ferret is an easy winner for me out of these four. That ferret's awesome. I love it.
The snow serpent will be less expensive, right? Because it's not deluxe.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Right?
So-
Or the prices go up before then.
Yeah, it's true too. Probably the same damn price.
Good. It could.
Here's my one little concern. Here's my one little gripe. I'm looking at the ferret, and you see that little chunk of engine kind of poking out, and it looks like they just. And the old one, it was separate pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here, that little bit of engine that I'm looking at reminds me of that Fang that they released with the 4-inch.
Right.
I think it might. You know what I'm talking about? It just
Yeah.
It felt cheap. Most of that ferret looks fantastic, but I look at that one spot and I'm just kind of like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's a digital render too, so it might be different.
It's a digital render, so yeah, who knows? But one of the things that made the original ferret great was the amount of detail that was in it. And I don't know. We'll see.
I think the eel is going to wind up being the biggest win of those retro ones because they were so hard to get a hold of in the box. But I don't. But again, if you're going to do a retro eel, do a retro eel.
The snow serpent, because it was deluxe and more expensive. Like I don't think the army builders probably bought as many as they would have.
Yeah,
You know, I think the snow serpent's going to be the big seller out of this group.
Neither of them are going to hurt for sales, right? Like
Yeah.
they are filling a need by getting those two figures out there because they really didn't get them out in huge quantities like they did the others. But man, they left a lot on the table for both. It's kind of disappointing. Hopefully, again, these are digital renders. Hopefully, there's time to make some changes. Maybe an easy change like the color of Beachhead's guns. That would be a real easy change. But
they come with stands.
They do come with stands. They are the carded retros, so they do have stands. That's cool.
And the ferret, true to its roots, comes with the missiles that can't make up their mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The two-way missiles. Yeah.
Yeah, you hit fire missile and you die.
It just falls off.
One of the stickers on it was like, "Don't fire missiles while turning."
Yeah, it was a good idea.
On the original, remember that?
Yeah, it's good advice, just basically for life.
Yeah.
The cat dog missiles.
Yeah. Oh. Anyhow. And then we get past the digital renders and we're into the main line classified showing off here. You got the two Joes, Jinx and Doc, and all their gear. Not a huge loadout for Jinx, but I like that she's got two sets of hands. And frankly, that's like the sword and the staff are plenty. You know, like Jinx doesn't need to be a super weapons expert to the highest degree on everything that comes. She can just
she's got the
alternate.
alternate, plus alternate head, alternate hands. So
right, and got the cool blindfold headband thing. So you got options with Jinx, and then of course Doc. Doc is great. That stretcher looks a little small if it's to scale, but that's okay because we don't. It's a stretcher. It's not the end of the world.
I think a lot of people were waiting for them when they did the stream. They were waiting for them to say the stretcher would like connect to the Dragonfly, and that didn't come out.
It did not. But I'm okay with that because on the old Dragonfly, it's a little small to scale, and I think the one that's coming out is just going to be too much of a hoss for
to stretch the stretcher
right for a stretcher to go across the skid. So that's okay. Maybe it'll bundle to one of the skids, MASH style. So who knows? But Doc's got all kinds of other cool gear that the old guy didn't have, and he looks great.
They're both updates from the classic looks, and I like both of them. I think they went that way with an update look. Yeah,
right.
I agree with you, but I could do without the sleeve tattoo on Jinx. I think
I love it.
I think the color breaks better without it, but I don't mind them updating characters. I don't, but I think it breaks it up in a bad way.
If it's a problem that is easily solved with a Q-tip and some rubbing alcohol, though, so that's easy.
You say rubbing, I say sipping. Ooh.
Yeah,
And then we say 911.
It's that good stuff.
Yeah. Don't drink IPA.
Ooh.
at least filter it out first.
It's what I can afford, boys. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Mark's next show will be from the Betty Ford Clinic.
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I'm chuckling at some of the live comment chats. Then, of course, we go to the Cobra side, and we got Torch, and we got the Night Creeper. I love Torch. Sometimes it's just as easy as doing flame effects and a tripped out flamethrower, and like it's just it's not killing you with concepts. It's just straightforward, solid work. And then the Night Creeper is more your old school load out to like crazy ninja guy. He's got the crossbow, that weird 5-tipped crossbow like the old figure had back in the 90s. He's got the 2 swords, both of which have a lot of character to them. Extra hands, good backpack. You got the little throwing knives there. Just good stuff on that Night Creeper. Good work. The extra head, I could take it or leave it. I don't like it as much as the standard one, but there's some other folks that do, and that's fine. So, gentlemen, I'll pose the same question to you here. Out of these 4 guys that we pre-ordered this past week, and we'll start with you, Mark Gerwig, since you're the guest. Which of these
Torch.
guys are looking forward to getting in your hot little
Torch.
hand the most?
Torch.
Torch is your guy?
Yeah,
Rex,
I love
Bob?
me some Dreadnoks, man.
I'm thinking Doc.
All right, Mark Weber.
Torch was always my favorite Dreadnought. And I ripped on the tattoos on Jinx, but I love the tattoos here.
Yeah,
and
right.
the chain wristbands, which I think are a separate piece. That's awesome. And the necklace, the chain around the left arm, the go-go boots, like he's just got it all going on. But I will say this: the additional head on the Night Creeper got me from 3 to 4, because I usually try to buy 3 of a troop builder, and now I got 3 guys and a leader, right? And the additional hands, I like that I could pose out all 4 of them, and one of them is karate guy, one of them is throwing star guy. I got swords for one guy. I got the crossbow for the leader. Like I like the bits that they're giving you there. Lets you kind of put a squad together that would have a different look. Every figure would have a slightly different look. That's
Right.
good work. Really is.
Right. And you can put the head on one of them, and he can be your leader.
That's what I'm going to do. That's why I bought 4. I would have bought 3, but they gave me a second head. So good for that.
Right.
I would like to have seen maybe some more deco or something on the head. It looks better than the original for sure.
Mhm.
The cyber head from the what was that, version 3 or 4? I would like to have seen a little more something done with it.
Yeah, it could be a better head. That's absolutely true. But I was just glad
they based it on the original, and they nailed that. But I don't know that it looks right for classified.
Yeah, it's actually less interesting than the regular trooper head. So,
Well, the Ninja Force Night Creeper head, which is just less interesting all the way around. That figure's a turd.
Michael Gene Fleming chiming in with, I think this might be the single best wave they've done for classified. All the figures are home runs. I still haven't been able to figure out which one I'm looking forward to the most. It's a real solid one. Look, when they do the new product on classified, they very rarely miss, right?
Yeah.
And even the figures that we maybe don't like as much, Falcon, it's not because like the loadout was bad or the weapons are bad. You know, it just obviously he's an ugly fella, and it bothers some people. So I get that, but like even like we complain about him, and even he's not really a bad figure. There's just people that want their Falcon to be more traditionally handsome.
Mm.
Whatever, I don't care. Not everybody's going to be cute. Hence, what's on Joe Mind. But on this one for me, this wave for me, it's Torch.
Yeah.
Torch is awesome. That's just some stunning work. Doc is a close second.
Yeah,
because Doc is an old favorite. But man, they put a lot of extra thought into the little details on Torch, and man, it made all the difference. But any last thoughts from anybody?
I mean, Torch, they've done really good work on the Dreadnoks, hard stop, but Torch is the best.
I think he's the best of the Dreadnoks, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely. Are his glasses molded on?
I believe so.
They appear to be.
Therein is the only issue I have with the Dreadnought so far, is the glasses.
The glasses on Ripper for mine, work pretty well. The glasses on Buzzer are at some point probably going to be glued to his face.
Torch kind of seems like the guy that would sleep with sunglasses on, though, right? Maybe shower with them on too. Maybe,
probably,
maybe.
Provided he showers.
Yeah,
just run him under the hose a little bit. He's fine. He's fine.
Right.
But these basic figures available. They are about $25. They're available wherever toys are sold. Your Targets, your Walmarts, your everywhere else's. There aren't a whole lot of other places selling toys anymore, are there? That's kind of depressing. But your Big Bads, your Entertainment Earths,
your Ollies.
Eventually, your Ollies, in theory.
Hey, you think about it, those Toys R Us inserts in Macy's, 25% of those are going away. So,
Really?
Yeah, Macy's is having, they're closing about 25% of their stores.
So theoretically, 25% of the Toys R Us, because not every store has those.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's another issue for another time.
This part of the show brought to you by Bain Capital, the guys who killed Toys R Us.
And KB.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot.
Right.
I didn't shop at KB. Too expensive.
You're buying the wrong stuff at KB.
Yeah.
Their Joes were consistently more expensive back in the day.
Back in the day.
Like 20 cents.
20 cents is...
Yeah, that's like $8 by today.
Like 6% back then, man. I was on a budget. $3 a week allowance in Oregon with no sales tax buys you a new figure a week. But not
if your regular Joes are $3 back in the day, at KB I think they were $5.
Oof.
And that is a big jump, man.
Mm.
That if you're leaving the house with your allowance and for a couple of weeks and it's $10, that's the difference between 2 figures and 3 figures. And that 2 figures, you're still going to have to scrounge up change for sales tax.
Not in Oregon, baby. Not in Oregon.
Well, in places where people actually live.
Whoa, Dow's home from Oregon.
Right, and he left.
What? And he turned into a girl, too.
Well, yeah, but, we're not here to criticize his personal choices.
Who else? Night Fox is from Oregon. He's from Bend.
Nobody cares about Night Fox.
That's true.
We weren't buying him back in the day anyway. He's not part of this discussion.
That's why they made him from Bend.
Because nobody cared.
Sales. No, to spark sales.
And look at how well that worked out.
I'm telling you. Jake Rose is on my side. You better back off.
Right. Look, I've already got the entire nation of Canada as my enemy, so I'm not going to be afraid of Oregon.
Come on now. We'll get the whole Pacific Northwest. Mirage is from Washington. Let's go. So is Recoils from Fashion Island.
Anyways.
Just saying.
I'm shocked that you know that.
No, I did a thing on Washington. Joe's from Washington once. Yeah.
Okay.
This is why.
Oh.
This is why we just put the banner up.
Come on.
Just put up the banner.
I'm not going to take this treatment. I got an eternal baseball podcast I can be lousy on.
we'll follow you there and ruin that too.
Right.
Lifelines from Seattle.
You can ban us and cut your podcast audience in half.
Oh, Zaymot CGC with the call, man. Did I watch Don Owens wrestling? You bet your ass I did. Was the only promotion I ever saw that didn't have enough money for an instant replay machine. So if you missed the finish, you just missed the finish, man. You didn't see it. And they wrestled it. I think it was a converted bowling alley that they just put like bleachers on two sides and shot that side most of the time. It was really fun.
Wow.
I remember vividly they had like a 380-pound guy with bleached blonde hair named Sandy Beach. And he ran off the ropes and didn't feel like taking the drop kick. So he just hooked the top rope and it snapped. And the top rope just fell and they didn't stop the match. And the guys had no idea what to do. So there's this 400-pound guy with no top rope trying not to fall out of the ring and kill himself. It was fantastic television. But again, no instant replay.
Just trying not to die.
Right? Brought to you by Tom Peterson and Margie's too, or something like that.
Oh my God.
Finest used cars in Bend.
Oh man, that was out of point. They never came to Bend. It was weird.
Tex and Edna Boyle.
That's what they were saving this time when Guy Fieri would eventually move in there.
Right. They had a bit one time where I forget who it was, but one of the heels stole one of the good guy tag team champions, stole their actual belt. So the hero champs came out with only one belt, and they promised they were going to get back at Rip Oliver or whoever it was. And I think the actual backstory was they legit lost one of the belts for a while. They couldn't find it. And they had no budget for a backup belt. So they rode the ankle about it.
Sounds about right.
Good for them, man. Got to pivot sometimes.
That was it, man. Portland wrestling. Pretty solid.
Thinking on their feet.
Pretty solid.
Scarcity breeds creativity.
Pretty much. Hey, where's the tag belts, Steve Dahl? I don't know. I thought you had them.
That's what they were all trained by Playboy Buddy Rose.
That's it, right?
Anyways, also happening on Leap Day was this tandem of ne'er-do-wells. Naugahyde with his fully articulated pork belly and his not quite fully articulated, but still semi-articulated monkey, Yabo. He's got all the gear you would expect. He's got the bow with the quiver. He's got his sniper rifle with its case. He's got his cool fanged machete thing. Got a couple of knives. He's got his removable hat. No notes on Naugahyde. Love him. Absolutely looking forward to this guy. Firefly. Blown away by the mention of Buddy Rose.
Blown!
Playboy
Well done,
Buddy
sir.
Rose. Blown away. Yeah.
Because, of course, Buddy Rose had the blowaway diet on WWF programming. His one shot at the big time, they gave him the blowaway diet. Good job, Vince. That's great creative.
Look at Jeff Butler. Jeff Butler proving us right on KB.
There we go. Just found my 1988 Arctic Rangers Stalker card back, which I bought at KB, and the price tag is still on it. Price was $439.
$439.
So I overshot a little bit, but still.
With tax.
It's the difference between 2 Joes and 3 Joes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You get 3 Joes every time.
You guys are all rich kids.
Right.
Look, man,
that's my takeaway from this. $10.
If somebody sent $10 in a birthday card or something,
great.
Oh man, just hung on to that. We were not candy children. We were not gum children. We were not sticker children. We hid that thing away like we were dumping acorns in the trunk of a tree for winter. And then when the time came that the trip was made to a Toys R Us, that was when the money came out. We knew how to hold on to $1 like we were going to get shot for it.
Sounds like luxury. We didn't have a Toys R Us in Bend, Oregon. We had to go to Portland. Once a year we went to Toys R Us. It was like a pilgrimage.
We were close to 2.
Oh, I do hear sorries.
That's life on Long Island, man. That's society.
Did you make Cadbury, the butler, pedal you there in the rickshaw? Just
No, we took
No.
the bus.
We took the bus.
all right. It's a little less glamorous.
We would go along with my grandma on the bus, and she would take us out to Roosevelt Field, and we would hit the Toys R Us. But,
Roosevelt Field Mall used to be an airfield, the airfield that Charles Lindbergh took off from when he flew across the Atlantic.
Whoa. Look,
There's
I'm the
still-
name dropper around here.
There's still a statue there, right in front of where the Toys R Us used to be.
No. It's in front of what used to be the Gimbals.
Isn't it?
Because the Toys R Us wasn't in the mall. It was one of the spots outside.
Right,
That-
but
that
so was
like-
the statue, obviously.
No, it was in the parking lot of the mall, but in the Gimbals.
Oh, okay. I thought it was in
Yeah.
the parking lot across the street where the Toys R Us was.
Basically,
Maybe,
that's the exact spot where the wheels left the earth.
maybe they could have given Naugahyde a bigger vest to cover up that brutal chest cut.
I
Or
mean, they
made
gave
longer dog tags, maybe.
Yeah,
They gave
dog
him a
tags
vest.
could have been.
yeah, they
2
gave him a
millimeters
vest
longer.
and tasteful medallions.
Yeah.
Rachel Selena says Naugahyde needs a motorcycle with a sidecar for Pork Belly.
Ooh.
That's a great idea. I don't see that happening, but
$100 will get you Naugahyde, Pork Belly, and the Silver Mirage with detachable sidecar, meaning it doesn't actually attach.
or it just falls off all the time.
That's
It
what I
attaches.
mean, yeah.
It just
That's what I
doesn't
mean.
stay.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
That's Are you guys all thumbs up on Naugahyde? Any notes? Anybody?
He's fine. He comes with everything. He was never
Yeah.
never a favorite of mine, but this is a good representation.
He has his fans among the Deke crowd.
Yeah, I was,
As
I was
he was
about
one
to
of the-
say he was.
One of the more regularly appearing villains of the Deke era, which I guess
He's
is
one
better
of the
than
few
nothing.
name villains in those days.
Yeah, but he is
Him
a
and
deluxe
Metalhead.
figure. He is $35. He's available everywhere that's carrying deluxe figures, which I guess isn't everywhere. Sometimes they turn up at Target, other times they don't. Sometimes they turn up at Walmart, other times they don't. But I mean, I guess big takeaway there, he's not a Pulse exclusive or anything like that.
I would assume the folded up hat or the half folded up hat makes him a no-go for Joe Colton.
Well, I mean, it's not attached to her condo, so she doesn't care.
Yeah, it could be him in disguise.
She-
You never know.
She doesn't have like twitching reactions to anything, and like folding hats are not the problem there.
I'm just saying. It's a touchy issue.
Weirdo cosplayers who never get out of character, they're the problem there.
That's a good point.
Plus, he's got a monkey.
He's got a monkey. He's got a piggy and a monkey.
I don't see a monkey.
He's
Not
not
there. They curiously left him out of that shot, but whatever.
Monkey not
We-
pictured.
We love Yabo, even if they don't.
Would you like to buy a monkey?
But Tim Peterson says it's a little weird that they gave Naugahyde Road Pig's Anarchy tattoo. Maybe they just all got that tattoo because Road Pig was rocking it.
I thought Naugahyde had that tattoo too.
He might have. I
I'll pull it
can't
up.
say I have a Naugahyde figure. I can't say it's been out anytime recently for me to remember.
I have the Mexican Naugahyde figure. They call him
Yeah,
Bill.
he has that tattoo.
Okay.
All right, faithful then.
It's, well, some kind of red tattoo in that same spot that looks the same. But I've had that figure here to check.
But don't go confusing the people, Mark Weber. The Bill
What?
is Zap.
Oh, that's right. They call
Mexican
him,
Zap is Bill.
and Biff is somebody totally different.
And then, of course, there are our exclusive 2-pack here. We got Tiger Force, Roadblock, and Tripwire.
Oh no.
Because that's a team that you always knew was there. They don't look bad for what they are. If you like Tiger Force, this is fine. If you don't care about Tiger Force, these guys aren't going to win you over. But they're okay. I like that they finally gave Roadblock the Madeus. That's good. But
It only
otherwise,
took them 5 tries.
right. It's roadblock number 17 in the classified line. But here too, it feels a little discounty. You know, they cut way back on Tripwire's stuff. He doesn't even have his. You don't even get the Tiger Force rat, right? Like that's just a single piece of plastic that they could have tossed in there. Nope, rat's gone. But you know, we got the robot with the Tiger Force paint motif. So sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, but they upped the gear on Roadblock.
Kinda. I mean, we haven't. I don't know if they upped it so much as it's just different. Like, because there's no corresponding Roadblock that has that gear loadout at all. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyways,
like I said, yeah, all the other Roadblocks, they went cheap on that.
Roadblock is the winner of the two. Tripwire, I have no inclination toward. I know that they released Tripwire back in the day. That is not a defining thing for me to go buy it. But this was actually a pass for me. I did not pre-order this 2-pack.
No, me either. Because I don't like Tiger Force, but look at that Roadblock. Go ahead, Mark.
This was the only one that sold out on Pulse of all the stuff we've looked at so far.
Yeah, but it's a Target exclusive, so Pulse isn't going to sell a whole lot of quantity on it.
I'll be honest with you. Target ain't going to sell a whole lot of them either.
No, but it was out on Target for a while as well. So we'll see.
Doesn't Roadblock look like a Transformers combiner? Like 5 things joined together to create that figure? The traps or the lats and the neck and the head looks like it came down from above and attached, and all form the head. Bum, bum, ba-da, bum, ba. Oh.
And then he gets his ass kicked by a Robeast for about 5 minutes.
That's right.
And then he makes the sword, and it's over in 5 seconds.
It's all over. No one kicks out from the blazing sword.
Nobody ever. Anyways,
they kicked it, they've been cut in half.
That's a new name. Welcome to the show. Wish they would have changed the stripe pattern this late in the game. My OCD is killing me. Yeah, it doesn't help that they look pretty different than the other Tiger Force guys that came before them. Yeah, again, I'm lukewarm on this one. I gave it a pass. Maybe if it shows up on clearance somewhere, I'll pick it up, but I'm not going to lose sleep if it never does. So,
I thought for sure, like no kidding, when Serpentor came out and he had those 50 cal guns mounted to the damn air chariot, I thought for sure that meant we were going to get a like a retro Roadblock that. But then they did, yeah. And then this is, I'm guessing, the gun that comes with the what they call it, like an action soldier or something.
The action soldier, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, retro Roadblock may still be on the table because that would be something they could do for very little cost at this point. They already did the figure with the Amazon one from a couple years ago and just swap out that minigun.
Yeah, they could just do version 2.
Yeah. Put a vest on them and there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it certainly could happen. But we'll see. Yeah, it would be the worst kept secret ever, right? Yeah, God forbid they do another Roadblock. Anyways, this one it's there. It's a Target exclusive. Limited quantities available at Pulse. Maybe might change later on, depending on how bad they want to move some merchandise. That one was $55. $55 for 2 figures that are repaints. That would cost more than 2 new figures. Doesn't, like, the math continues to not make sense on these 2-packs, these multi-packs.
These are the official images, right?
Yes.
How bad do you have to misunderstand your own brand to pose Roadblock like that with that gun?
Well, is it a brand thing or a how modern weapons work thing?
I think it's a brand thing, but I could be mistaken.
Well, you're right. Like, he should be wielding it, but like,
yeah,
you also don't fire a 50 cal on a tripod that way.
You're okay. I'm trying to think of how you would then.
You sit with your legs forward.
Oh well, I don't know if these guys pose that way. I don't know if they've got that kind
Well,
of bend.
I think the tripod's a little not scaled correctly.
Yeah, it's a little low.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just not impressed with this one. Not enough.
No, not good.
And then last but certainly not least, the Heat Seek missile system with the Techno Viper. You can see there in all of its glory, it is the Heat Seek because that's what's written on the missile.
Mm-hmm.
Complete with the repaint of the Techno Viper, which we've pre-ordered previously and don't have quite in our hot little hands yet. But I like it, frankly. I thought this was pretty cool. I know there are some rumors out there of this being canceled, but I don't understand where those came from. So when it finally turned up, it was nice to see.
Wait, is that a product rumor that turned out to be inaccurate?
Go figure, right?
I know where it came from.
Well, I mean, maybe.
Probably.
It was coming in from a couple of channels, so I can't say that the usual suspect is the only one on that one. But again, just a name change. It was billed as the SMS before. Now it's the HMS, much like the Pinafore. And the Techno Viper does have a button in his back where he will sing Modern Major General.
Nice.
But only with a 9-foot carrot.
Like on the Muppet Show. That is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. It's coming in at about $75. There it is, all put together. Gotta love the color scheme on the system itself, because obviously that will match your HISS tank. It's got the hitch so it can get towed by your HISS tank. How about the Techno Viper? You guys like how he turned out, or would you have done it differently?
It works with the fire team.
Yeah.
The colors are fine. I want my purple Techno Viper. Like I'm more excited about that than this, but it's all right.
It's different. It works.
It makes sense. You would have somebody that could work on stuff.
The most
Right.
exciting thing about this is imagining the green version of it with the OG Hawk, right? That's cool. I'm down with that.
I like it's interesting how they solved the problem for the tail hitch, because where the tail hitch sits on the classified HISS is way lower than it sat on the original.
Mhm.
So that they've got it so it's adjustable, and you can kind of see here where you pull it out and you can plug it in lower. So in the position it's in there, I'm wondering if that's where it's going to fall on the vamp or something else.
Or the Mobat.
Right, when that one happens.
Where's the computer on a stand?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, let's go back.
I believe they've incorporated into the one of the sides there, the back end.
Yeah, they had a removable panel too. It's a good piece. I think it's designed really well.
I think we need to ban Jeff Butler.
he is going a bit crazy with his his Heat Seek cousins there. But yeah, we'll just
Mindbender trouble.
it's the live chat, man. Reading too much in the live chat is always the way that goes to madness. So you guys are all in on this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did pick one up too. Jake Rose asked, wasn't the point of the stand to get away from the backblast? Yes, but it's also one of those where, you're not going to necessarily be standing back there hitting a button to fire it. You're
Right.
going to set it and then forget it.
Probably wireless.
Program it.
Probably wireless by now. Just saying.
Yeah. And not to mention that removable computer would get you all of a relative speaking 2.5 feet away. So whatever backblast is going on is still going to fry you.
Yeah.
Still not helping. But Greg Augustin asks, is $75 the right price point? That's what I ordered it at. I think it was $74.99.
Well,
So-
25 for the figures, 50 for the thing. Just, it hurts.
Right. I mean, it's a repaint, so the
but-
money, the figure's a little bit less, but
Yeah.
but
You-
yeah, it's still-
you will all be surprised how big this damn thing is when you get it. It is
It looked like
a
a decent
big
size.
piece of
Yeah.
plastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It looks like basically bigger in scale than the old one was.
yeah.
It's deceptive. It's a weird thing when you have your head wrapped around the 3 3/4 inch and what it looked like then. Just having we've printed in the 3D printing group, we've done a couple of these, and they are big.
Yeah. Well, even
You scale them.
back in the day, my general impression of the MMS was that it was fine to have something that launched giant ass missiles, but that launcher was not real beefy. It's kind of like putting a Gatling gun on the side of a motorcycle and not expecting it to fly all over the place when you fired the gun. Like if you shot a missile off of that little MMS stand, it's just going to destroy that stand, right?
It's based on a real thing.
No, I get you, but it that real thing is a bit beefier than the toy we got in 1982, right? Like it's more in line with the proportions that we've got here.
Possibly, yeah. Gotcha.
I always thought the guys on the Ram fired the Gatling gun to turn quicker.
Well, it certainly helps if you're turning left, but
Yeah.
if you're turning right, that's just a lot of ballast to. Anyways, that's the news. I'll find the news button eventually. There we are. That's what happens when I have to pull up the banners all the time to hide Mark.
Right. Which one? We got you not outnumbered, but at least even numbered.
I'm gonna
I was
get
gonna
you
say,
back
I've
up in
got
the top corner so that you can get blocked out by the
Oh,
QC code some more.
pinching my head. Every so often I do this and ow. Sharp.
Just watch your head deflate like a balloon, like a Macy's balloon, like
Right.
it goes section by section. Oh, looks like Underdog's got some problems coming around Fifth Avenue.
Kids crying everywhere as Charlie Brown deflates into a puddle. You
Right.
blockhead.
Seemed like
Can't
Kermit
say
the
I-
Frog always caught the worst of it in the Macy's Day
Oh,
Parade.
poor Kermit.
Right. When was the last time you saw that Superman balloon with the hand actually inflated?
Yeah.
Like Superman's coming around the bend and there's just some piece of peach skin hanging out of his sleeve. Oh, Superman, no! Not you, Superman.
So, yeah, his only weaknesses are kryptonite and the Macy's Day Parade.
Yeah. Kryptonite and some trees on 34th Street.
I heard they're canceling 25% of the Macy's Day Parade, though.
Yeah. Mark Gerwig. For tonight's, mate, we're 2 hours in. We're finally getting to it. That's how much.
On
news
for the
there was.
main event, ladies and
Good
gentlemen.
Lord.
Oh boy.
Can we talk or can we talk? But hey, you're designing the items for the JoeFest 2024 custom class. Brought to you by Grindhouse Toys and Mark II Design. So, sir, how did this job come to you?
So this is Chris's baby. So Chris was talking to John Russell, Kentucky Fried Toys, I'm Not Legends, who's done the class for as long as anyone I've spoken to can remember. And John's stepping down this year, and he's just. I think it's a lot. I think he's doing double duty because they're doing the DFW Joe Show and JoeFest, and Chris was a huge fan of that custom class, and has gone multiple years. And as soon as when he heard that John wasn't going to do it anymore, he took an interest and started asking questions and made sure he spoke to John, and then we talked to Ed. But yeah, Chris is super talented. Like, he is a really, really good painter and customizer. Initially, he reached out to me and we were talking. His his first pitch to me was taking a classified grunt and turning it into skid mark. And he'd drawn up some things like what kind of accessories we want. Now I was 100% in. Like I was real excited about it.
Why would you do that to a perfectly good grunt?
Skid mark, baby. I love skid mark. Well, you know, part of the thing is we want to try and do figures that we don't think are going to eventually make it into the line.
Right.
You know, so he had kind of pitched skid mark to me. I was all on board, and then he came back with this idea that he had in his mind for a long time. So Chris, huge wrestling fan, huge wrestling fan, and a huge, like, the biggest Sergeant Slaughter fan that I know. And he had talked about it, like, you know, the only time Slaughter, you know, had the belt, the only time he was like the no kidding champion was like when he had been a heel during was it early 90s when he was during
91,
the Iraqi
late 90, early 91.
Yeah. So Chris, you know, he just had these ideas kind of brewing in his head. You know, and it turned into this kind of a what if figure. Like, what if Sergeant Slaughter had been captured and Dr. Mindbender was able to stick him in the brainwave scanner and turn him to evil, right? Like, what would that look like? So if you want to progress the slide.
There it is.
So the concept we came up with was a little bit of that Iraqi sympathizer, Sergeant Slaughter as a heel, a little bit of that, a little bit of Viper, a little bit of Crimson Guard. And so Chris's design, like he sketched it out, sent it to me, and then I just did all the sculpting. That was my part. The figure you're seeing there, so we've got you know, the secondary, the vest, and that's going to be printed out of a material called F69. It's a TPU like 3D resin, so it's a photopolymer, so it's flexible, so you're able to get that on there. As is the beret, that's the same. It'll be the same material. It's got a little bit of flex to it. The belt, same. But then the really ridiculous gun and then the plates on the belt are all a harder material. Yeah.
Are they going to be like vac metal or just a gold plastic?
No, so it's you're going to paint it in the class.
Okay.
So it'll be a gold paint.
Nice.
So yeah, the beret will be a black resin. The vest is black. The flexible part of the belt black, but then all the other stuff is gray. Is how it comes out. So as it is a customizing class, I'll be popping some pieces off of the figure in order to get the secondary on. But the real thing here, the real value, especially if you're a customizer, is that Chris is going to be, no kidding, teaching you from the basics of how to prepare it for paint, through painting it, putting a wash on it. I paint myself, but I'm not even in the same class as Chris. So I'm personally excited to be there and listen to him and try and follow along. No kidding. So I do want to make sure I point out tickets went on sale for the class. I want to say it's $50, which is a pretty good value. And they are moving well over half of it sold out in the first day, I believe.
Yeah, it's filling up quick.
Yeah, it's filling up quick. So if this is something you're interested in as a cool kind of a what if figure, or if you're a beginning painter to you know, even an experienced painter, no kidding, I really recommend trying to get to this class and hearing what Chris has to say. But we had a lot of fun with this too. Yeah. So that's my son playing with the Slaughter figure up there, shooting Grunt in the back as he tries to run away.
Right.
Yeah, we had a blast. But yeah, so the belt. Chris designed the belt. That middle piece that was kind of a pain in the ass for me to sculpt. Like, it's so small, and it's got so much detail in it, and it's
It looks like it's based on that the old WWF winged eagle there.
right, and those are knives, like knife blades,
Nice.
and that's exactly what it was kind of similar to. Right, that's a real deliberate thing, but amazing. Like, I'm impressed with me how this turned out. Like, it's a tremendous amount of detail that comes through in the final product. It looks really good.
It looks awesome. I mean, cannot give you enough props on how this turned out. That is fantastic. Mark,
And you guys are kind of all wrestling guys, right?
Yeah. Well,
we
so
are,
Chris,
even though Ragtime Rob will try to deny it, but he is.
So when we were kind of working on like our little promotional picks that you're looking at, Chris had this includes Cobra Award World Domination Championship, and he had that on the belt, and I was just like, I don't think that's correct English, man. And then, like, that was a fun back and forth where he kind of explained to me what's what. I'm like, so yeah, like, yeah.
I dare say, if you're worried about the grammar of a wrestling title, you are kind of missing the point. So I think World Domination Championship, I think that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
the whole thing is spectacular, and
It's a great concept.
I don't think Hasbro was going to do this one down the road.
No.
No, I got a
You don't
feeling
think?
that
I think they're good.
that Iraqi sympathizer Slaughter was not gonna make it to the no.
Yeah.
I believe me, I think there's we could sit and talk about what we think was the impetus for that for a whole other half hour, or knowing us, probably more like an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
he talked about it at length. That documentary from Sunday night, the A&E thing. He talked about it quite a bit.
Oh, I'm sure. Look, it's a big part of things. I'm sure it's a real bittersweet thing for him, in that it's the one time where he got to hold the big belt in the biggest federation, and he had to do it under those pretenses.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was not something that was
in the documentary. It sounded like he was all in. It sounds like he really enjoys being a villain. That was kind of my takeaway from the documentary.
I think Sarge is one of those guys that he's never going to say anything bad about the guy who signed his paycheck for all those years. Like, Sarge hits me as somebody who's very loyal, but I have a feeling that was not something that he was necessarily all on board with at the start. Like, I'm sure he found his way and made his peace, and he got to work with the Sheik, who was by all accounts and purposes a great guy behind the scenes. And what's his name, General Adnan, was a guy who was well respected too. So, like, he was with his folks, and it was a headline program for WrestleMania 7. So Lord knows he got paid for it. But I think if you had given him the choice, do you get to be heel champ fighting Hogan with this gimmick versus face champ as GI Joe Sergeant Slaughter? I think he'd have taken face champ GI Joe Sergeant Slaughter 10 times out of 10.
Probably true, but as risky as it was for him, it didn't hurt him long term.
No.
Right? So
No.
Overall, it was kind of win-win.
Yeah. Again, thankfully, with hindsight being 2020, no skin off the Sarge's nose, because thankfully, for whatever reason, this is one of those times where everybody remembered, oh, wait, he's just a pro wrestler. He's like an actor on TV. That's not actually him. Sometimes even wrestling fans forget that. So, I'm thankful that this time, at least, Sarge didn't get stuck with any long-term damage. Matt Rubin met the Sheik at a very early Steel City Con. Asshole! I met the Sheik once. He was really nice to me.
Yeah, but he broke Matt Rubin's back and made him humble.
Could be.
Hard to forgive that.
Jabroni.
I take Heel Sergeant Slaughter over Chic Tugboat. Okay. I don't know what that is even, but sure. And then we've got his rather unique looking weapon here. What is this thing, Mark?
For some reason. So this was we were discussing it, like what kind of gun should it come with? It shouldn't be like an M16. It shouldn't be any kind of standard. Like what would a Cobra guy have, and kind of the AK is kind of there, but for whatever reason, the classified Slaughter comes with an AK already, and we knew it needed to be way more ridiculous than that. So we sort of kind of brainstormed and came up with this ridiculous thing. So it's basically a drum-fed grenade launcher on like an AK frame with a shotgun underslung under the barrel.
And Ripley from Aliens is like, that's going too far. You can't do that.
Yeah. The only thing this is missing is some duct tape.
Yeah.
It was just a fun design. It's a completely fictional, ridiculous thing, but it needed to be something over the top.
Outlandish.
Not Sonic Fighters over the top, but like just over the top.
Right. I mean, you are basing a figure on a very specific wrestling angle. So yes, over the top is what's called for.
Yeah.
Everybody likes it except the Saw Viper, who says it's, quote, too small. Yeah.
Right.
Looks like a sidearm.
That's what the Saw Viper's got in his little belt holster. He's fine.
That's got to be a lot more fun though when you get to make up a brand new weapon, right? Rather than just replicating. I mean, I know there's absolutely room and value in replicating a real world weapon at this scale, but when you get to actually flex out creatively and go, I want to make something ridiculous. That's got to be
no kidding. Like the whole project was kind of that. Like a lot of the stuff I've done has been, especially with the hard surface modeling, it's a lot of reproduce this at this scale or that scale, and to do something just clever, and that's what I think of this. It's a clever little design. So I was really happy to do this.
So front to back, with with JoeFest being the finish line, how much time will you have put into this project? When did you start on it?
So shortly after JoeFest last year, Chris had the wheels turning.
All right.
And so it was definitely I definitely remember I talked about it to a couple of people at Assembly Required in November. I think sculpting, like the actual hours put into sculpting, was not much. There was a lot more time spent planning and kind of just discussing with Chris, like what's right, what's going to look good, what's the right thing to do, sculpting wise between all the pieces. It really just a couple hours.
So, but
I don't have to paint them, so
right.
That's a win for me.
We're gonna stick with the easy answer of all year. Makes it seem like you just.
I mean, planning and talking about it, like it's definitely, because it's not just sculpt the thing and print it out. Like it's a class. We're designing a class.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So there's a lot more to it, and there's a lot more hours to do. Like I have to manufacture all this crap though. So there's a lot of, like, by the time JoeFest hits, it'll have been a lot of work.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, we used to do panels at JoeCon, and we used to laugh about how little time and preparation we would put into it, and there was still hours of time that was put into prep and what are we going to talk about and how are we going to set it up, and like, so yeah, even the stuff that you can blow off as easy work, like what we did, still is more work than you'd think. So whatever you're thinking, whatever I'm thinking this project is for you, I was expecting the answer to be actually much, much more. And yeah, Yeah, that's pretty well what you've said.
Mhm.
I mean, how much of that is going to be just sitting there waiting for the printer to spit these things out? How about how long? Like if you're printing up
the waiting part's not bad. For 3D printing with resin, it's a lot of work because it's every single piece has to be post processed, and it's removing supports in the best way to not leave artifacts on it. Everything has to be it's all wear respirator, wear rubber gloves, wash everything in denatured alcohol. Everything has to get cured. There's still a long way to go on this project, but we're really happy with where we are right now.
No, it looks sensational, and I love the fold out old school weathered paper look. That's through the roof good.
So it's based on, there was an insert when when Hasbro did that Sergeant Slaughter figure that was like 7 inches, and the LGN wrestling figures were all 6. It was an insert from that time. So like we really tried to kind of mimic that. Yeah.
I love it.
Just going nuts up there.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. My kids do not care about toys at all whatsoever. But when that Hiss tank showed up, this kid here just couldn't keep his hands off of it. And
dude, that Hiss tank is an all-time winner.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, but yeah, we
Plus redhead, right? Looking red to me.
It's leaning. It's brown, but it definitely leans towards red. Like it's
Come on the bandwagon. We need bodies.
He's got the pale skin and the freckles. Like, yeah,
he counts. You tell him many are called, but few are chosen.
Well, so the thing is, he's got his oldest brother has extremely red hair. Okay. So like if you see him next to his brother, his hair is basically black. Yeah.
So who in the family before them had the ginger hair, Mark? That's what we need to know.
That was all on their mom's side.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Just so Mark Weber knows where to send the thank you card.
That's right. I'm digging
propagating his people.
I'm digging the Cobra Warlord doing the Randy Orton pose in the turret. That's pretty slick.
In my mind, I can hear like a maniacal laugh a little bit.
Yeah.
As he runs over the steel core guys.
Apparently, he hears voices in his head too.
Anyways, is there anything else that we should know about this project, Mark? I mean, why don't you go ahead and run down the particulars on how folks can sign up one more time? Right.
On any bit of social media that you have right now, you can find a link to the JoeFest 2024 tickets page, and you scroll through there, and there's all the different options. The custom classes on there. Again, I believe it's $50. It's 50 seats. This is the first year that Chris is running the custom class. We'll kind of see how it goes, but as of right now, like the tickets are moving. We've had a lot of questions about, can we just buy the kit without doing the class? And my kind of answer to that is, I believe there's an expectation of exclusivity to these kits when these people buy the $50 ticket to the class, and we're not gonna mess with that. There might be some extras, like we're definitely gonna make a few extras because you never know, just in case.
Right. But
we're not planning to sell a bunch of these things out the back door.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want to put together this exact figure, this is your one opportunity. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. My understanding, the class is it's Friday morning. I can't think of the start time off the top of my head, but it basically runs through lunch. Ed says they're going to have at least light snacks provided as part of the cost of the ticket. I'm not sure what that's going to be. If it's pizza and soda, or I don't know. But there will be some food provided for this class that I believe is like 6 hours.
Wow.
But like, no kidding. No
Roll
kidding.
ups
The
and high
guy
C.
who's teaching this class, is an amazing painter. Amazing. Chris does a lot of stuff for Fresh Monkey Fiction, which is he's doing paint masters for Eagle Force. He's doing all the paint masters for Operation Monster Force, Long
Nice.
Box Heroes. He's just doing a bunch of work, and like I'm blown away every time he shows me something that he's painted. So definitely worth it. Like maybe you paint really well. You probably don't paint as well as Chris.
Right.
I don't.
Yeah,
I'm sure she don't.
how well do you paint on a scale of 0 to Chris?
Yeah. Are you asking me, or is that you just putting
No,
that out there?
just in general. If you think you're a really
Just in general.
talented painter, let's see how you rank 0 to Chris.
Can you
terrible
scroll
painter.
back to that first page where you can kind of see it a little better?
Yeah.
Like that blows my mind when I look at this thing.
Yeah, it's pretty outstanding.
You're not seeing it here, but like I have the high res versions of this, and you can just zoom in, and it is so clean and sharp. It's gorgeous.
Hank Perry did the legwork for us. Starts at 10 a.m.
Thank you very much.
So you're running 10 to 4 is what you're saying
Oh, wow.
on Friday.
For all the awesomeness that's here, my favorite part is a really subtle detail, but I love the unbuttoned part of
the
chest,
flap.
right? Yes.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, and like this is kind of my first. That's not true. This will be the first thing I've done that's sort of organic, or it's not a hard surface model thing. It's more like you can see some of the folds and the creases in the shirt there. I have not. That's not what I'm known for. I've been doing guns and vehicles and stuff, and in like I think Operation Recall is like some of the backpacks and stuff I've done. That'll be that's the first stuff that's going into production that I've sculpted that was in ZBrush. But like for the public at large, this is the first thing that I've got out there that I've done like that. I think I did those head scans, and I did most of that stuff in ZBrush. So that was my first kind of dipping my toes into that. Yeah, but it's a super fun idea. It's just a what if. But it looks great. It's if you're a Sergeant Slaughter fan, I think this is an easy win.
Absolutely. So remember, head over to JoeFestUSA.com and be sure to register yourself quick, sooner rather than later. Spots are going fast. They will not be selling overflow. I think there's a waiting list, but even that's pretty limited. So yeah, you got a ways to go. Or rather you gotta get, not a ways to go, but you got to get in there quick, because those spots will not last. So again, Mark, thanks so much for first off for doing this. I'm sure you'll see or speak to Chris before we will. Apologize for us that we wished he could have been here. We understand that sometimes life happens and prevents these things. We will have him on the program at some time in the very near future. So that being said, rather than, since we're going way over, rather than do what we got in, because we never seem to get to that anymore. You have anything cool you want to show off like you did with the shark last time?
I'm afraid not. Like I mentioned this earlier, I'm in the basement. Well, okay, let me look around.
Come on now. I know you got a rattler back there. He'll need
a crane to bring it over.
No, I
You
mean,
got a road zone.
I've got this thing that I've been messing with. So for Operation Recall, there's one of the characters comes with this gigantic Russian anti-aircraft gun, and he's got a tripod for it. But I've been playing with this a little bit. It's got to fit in the package. I'll have to talk to Carson. We're trying to we're making some tweaks to it. It's a lot.
Right.
But,
I was about to say it looks like the old Saw Viper gun. So that right there. That
It
right
doesn't
there
though,
gives you an idea.
because that's not going to break his little thumbs off.
Yeah.
Right.
It's got an appropriately sized kit.
It looks like the sight on the old Saw Viper gun.
Right?
Like I said, we're going to see the old Saw Viper gun with the new Saw Viper.
That's it. I still might not try it in his hand.
But all right. Well, I mean, I guess we will real quick. Because I blew the joke last week, so I'm gonna fix it this week. Yeah, see, there it is with the right number. It's always been deemed a little bit excessive, but this is the week where it got literally gross. But
Oh,
but there's 144 for you. There he is, kids. That way, now that I've shown him off on the program, I can put it all on Instagram and start putting these guys away again. So, but we will just real quick before we get moving on too much. Here's a quick word from our wonderful friends at Kokomo Toys. I can't go 2 weeks without playing their promo spot. I got to get them in here somewhere, right?
We buy, sell, and trade vintage and modern toys. GI Joe, Star Wars, Transformers, Marvel, DC, and more. Located in beautiful downtown Kokomo, Indiana, we are open every Wednesday through Saturday from 12 to 5. It's a theme park of nostalgia. Join the thousands of people who have traveled from all over the Midwest for over a decade to buy and sell with us. Get your geek on.
And as always, we are excited to feature a wonderful podcast perfect for anyone who hates censorship. It is called Bandcamp, and the hilarious duo of Jennifer and Dan host it. Bandcamp is a comedy podcast where they read banned books and try to figure out why they were banned in the first place. This season, and they are getting close to the end, they are reading Mark Twain's classic Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, one chapter at a time out loud. If you think banning books will lead to a not-so-great future, and really, you should, then Bandcamp is for you, whether you're like Jennifer, curious to read a book for the first time, or like Dan, and a little too lazy to read it yourself. You want to get in your reading without all that reading. You will love Bandcamp. Look for it. That is Bandcamp with band with 2 N's on your favorite podcast player, and subscribe today. Let's all get together.
Look, she's a redhead.
Oh, kinda. She's got a little too much forehead showing.
Look at that.
I'm sure Jennifer appreciates that, Mark. Giving her a top of a spell like that.
I'm a good-looking woman. Who knew?
That's what she was lacking.
Well, you look good with the pigtails for sure.
Right? Little Pippi Longstocking going
call you
on.
half
Yeah.
pint.
Yeah, baby.
Oh
Digging
my
it.
God. Oh, please don't pull your sponsorship. I haven't even done our recorded liner read for them yet. Michael Cuppinger wants you to show the Ravage. I'm going to guess you got that one upstairs.
It's not even. It's at my shop, and I'm at the house.
All right.
So sorry.
Wasn't
here
We
to.
have this though.
I wasn't here to plug that stuff.
I'll be very honest with you, Mark. Great having you on the show today. But last time we said, "Hey, what do you got?" You went, "Hey, well, let's see. Oh, I got a classified shark."
It's got 2 seats.
Two-seater.
Yeah. All right. So point taken. Next time I'll have something amazing and awesome.
Yes.
Mark, we do have a request. We do need you to put together the loadout for Junkyard. We need a little bow tie and a cigar so we can become Triumph the Insult Comic Dog.
Oh.
Okay. I'll have it for you at JoeFest.
All right.
There you go.
Excellent.
So now
Ragtime Rob,
you have to go.
your dream is real. We're on the guest list, man. Where you are going?
It's the bow tie and the cigar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're on the guest list, man. We have to go now. We're in.
Yeah, you can use the smoke from Sarge's gun for the cigar. Perfect.
Absolutely. Let's roll ahead to shout outs, Mark. You shouting out to anybody today?
Shouting out to my partner in crime, Chris Scott, who pulled out at the last second, and I I've been texting him little nasty things all night, but like like he had to go pick up his kids. Like
Right.
he couldn't get out of it. But
we can't get in the way of family, no matter how hard we try.
I mean,
yeah. Chris is like one of the most positive energy guys that I know. Like he's just fantastic. So it's everyone's loss that he couldn't be here.
Some would say that the last second is the right time. Never mind. Never mind.
That was the joke I was fighting off, Mark.
Yeah, and I didn't go there, not completely.
There's some things that, as the guy who pushes all the buttons, I can't say, and that was one of them.
Right. I thought you might kickstart my heart right when I got to the.
I don't get it. Are you talking about him pulling out of the show?
Yes.
I don't get it.
You will. You will. Yes, you
Did
will.
somebody call for a bad joke? Yes.
Who else we shouting out to, Mark?
You want me to shout somebody else out?
You can if you want to. You don't have to.
Okay, I'll shout one out to Ed for letting us do the class.
There you go.
Yeah,
Ed Schumacher, the guy who's asked us down to be guests as well. So we'll go in on that with you.
Yeah. We didn't have to twist his arm too hard, so
we did. We actually had to kidnap members of his family, but that's just what it takes at this point.
We are a 2-bit slime show, bro.
You know, it's the triumvirate of toy YouTubers, right? It's Pixel Dan, it's Dan Larson, the Secret Galaxy, and it's us. We're right in there. We're right lock and step with those guys. We're just right, but we're the third place out of those three. We're right there. Bronze
medal, baby. We should show up wearing bronze medals. We're number 3. We're number 3.
Our JoeFest exclusive T-shirts, bronze medal with Staff Sergeant C-Nug underneath,
right?
Cheering us on.
I am. Yeah, you know what? I'll talk to Michael Kleppinger there, and yeah, because hopefully, I know you're gonna have some other stuff to talk about.
Oh yes, we will be all over the JoeFest experience for everyone this year. We will not be there.
Sorry quietly. To be vague, everyone, but
we will ruin it for everyone.
I'll come up with something cool to have on for you then.
Nice.
If you hate us on Tuesday nights, you're gonna hate this year's JoeFest.
It's really gonna suck. Yeah, because of us.
We will be painting it awash in a blue wave. Mm-hmm. Rack time, Rob. Shout out
to the studio audience. Shout out to my bedtime, which I have blown well past.
Yeah. Good Lord, we are running long tonight.
School night, for God's sake.
I know.
Mark Weber.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Self-serving, but shout out to Eternal Baseball, which had a hell of a month on Facebook. We put some new stuff up and it absolutely blew up. Turns out the key is getting people to share your videos. Who knew? Yeah, it was a big month. So to Roto, my Eternal Baseball partner and oldest friend, kudos, man. Good month. Check it out, eternalbaseball.com. You'll love it.
And I will round it out by echoing Rob's shout out to our studio audience. If you are catching the show on Facebook tonight, be sure to give us a thumbs up or a heart or a little huggy guy. We do love little huggy guy. If you're catching us on the YouTube, that is where you can help us out the most. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a big boy comment down in the comments below. And of course, share us on all your social media channels, whether that be your Facebook groups or your Facebook page, your subreddits, your Discord servers. Just put us wherever you talk about GI Joe. Let's get the word out there. You guys have been a little lax with the clicks lately. We need you to keep clicking buttons. I need to keep spreading the word and engaging with the channel. That's the only way YouTube knows that we're here. Be sure to do that with this video here. Be sure to also do that with the news nuggets that'll be posted at some point over the next day. We're trying to use those news nuggets as a means to seed the clouds and help spread the word so you guys don't have to work quite so hard. But we need to get them off the ground first. They're just a minute long. If you watched all of them, it's going to be 8 minutes out of your week. So please go ahead and help us out with anything that we post up there. Even if you've seen it before, just click the like button. It's not hurting anything.
It's still good. You got to like it.
Right. It's incredible. That's why we put it up twice.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. It's frankly outstanding.
It's
Give a shout out to our good friend Brian Lower, who's on Hood of Cobra Commander 788, our normal lead-in show, who's been absent for a couple of weeks as he gets some things together. We will see him later this summer at JoeFest as well. We will echo Mark's shout out for Ed Schumacher of JoeFest, who was again had the good nature to not take us quite at literal value and actually invited us as guests to JoeFest, in case you missed that news. So we will be there handing out clicky pens and what else do I have? Clicky pens and business cards, along with all the other cool stuff that our friends have planned this summer. Give a shout out to our friends at Kokomo Toys. Real quick, we'll sing their theme song. Kokomo Toys. Kokomo Toys. You're a little out of tune, Rob. Work on that.
I don't care. Past my bedtime.
He missed dress rehearsal. And of course, to Mark Gerwig, thank you so much for joining us tonight. To Chris, sorry we missed you. We will have you on again very soon in the near future. To my co-hosts, Racktime Rob, Mark Weber, and in absentia, Joe Colton. Thank you as much for the time that you spend plugging this damn show. But that's it. That's all we got for episode 299. That means next week is episode 300.
Ooh,
the big 300.
Right? It's not really too much of an anniversary because we
have a big guest.
Right. It's 300 in name only, because if you figure it's 300 regular episodes plus we've done almost 100 special editions, and how many look-ins and YouTube only like we're closer to 500 actual episodes than we are 300, but it's the 300th regular episode, so that does mean something. We do have a big guest planned for you. Former head of boys toys at Hasbro, Daryl DePriest, will be with us next week as our special guest, sitting in the fourth chair. We will be sure to leave lots of time for crowd questions. It is definitely a What's on Joe Mind that you want to be here for live. You want to be here and you have a burning question about how Hasbro's boys toys division was run in the 2000s and 2010s. That's the guy you want to ask. So make sure you get him there and get your questions. If you wanted to send them to whatsonjoemind@gmail.com, give a leg up there. Maybe
skip the line.
Right. It wouldn't help. If you got a really good question, maybe we get it into whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. Not saying it's going to be a guarantee, because again, we want to make sure to have some time for the live folks, but you got a really good one, get it into whatsonjoemind@gmail.com. We'll do our best to make sure it gets in front of DDP. So that's the plan for episode 300. Make sure that you're here with us next Tuesday at 9:05 on the Superstation. We now return you to your what's it called? Binge view of Miss Congeniality 2 on TBS. Make sure
that one has Shatner.
That one's got big Billy Shatz.
Oh, now we're talking.
Or maybe it's the first one. I don't know. I haven't
the first
seen
one.
Either one. I haven't seen either one. Maybe I'm confusing it with Airplane 2.
I don't know. Look, I haven't seen either one of them either. But
I've seen Airplane 2.
That's it for us here on What's on Joe Mind. As our friend Vagon likes to say, stay safe, and if you can't, be careful. Be back with us next week at 9:05 here on the Superstation for another great episode of What's on Joe Mind. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. Mark Gerwig's obviously got some eyebrow cramping going on. And until then, Yo Joe.
Beer.